Alright, we about live on YouTube. I had to go in here and do all kind of stuff to these microphones today. And fix that shit.
They crazy. Do not pay them.
Listen, they in their own house.
The pictures, it's only that one. It's nothing to be scared of.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, nothing to be scared
Nothing to be
of.
scared. Oh, matter of fact, let me respond to somebody. Jeez.
So I got you tagged in it, so you should get a notification once we go live.
Okay.
And then you can go in and share it, tag your people.
That just looked like a heart attack.
What?
Hold on, let me see. Heart attack, heartburn.
That is like toilet warfare. Like.
Yeah, all of that.
But I still.
Every time I come in the press room, you in the press room. Working on our Stars Hot-Tronic heat press. Using all the vinyl. Making all the picture tees. I like vinyl.
I'm about to just load these boxes up on out your way.
Man, you gotta be a crazy little brother to get fired on your day off. What you get caught stealing boxes for?
Man, I didn't get caught stealing no boxes. He said he caught me though.
We get our rent paid.
Why don't you go in there and ask the girls real fast to see if they help us pay our rent?
That don't sound like a bad plan at all.
What's up, Pops? What's up, Smokey? I'm trying to set up a meeting with the girls, man.
Okay.
Y'all wanna help me and Craig pay our rent?
Craig still owe me money from the last time he got me. He gotta learn a lesson. He shouldn't be stealing. Don't ask him to tell that girl from last night to give him some money.
What they said? They said it's slow for real.
I'm about to just ask boss when we get our job that night.
Of course you can. Yeah!
Yeah. Y'all actually won an award, the Boss Max 2009 Ohio Hip Hop Award. Y'all won for that meet out there.
I don't even know. Yeah.
Like y'all won. He didn't even know he won.
What'd you say? Who was it?
Boss Magazine 2009 Ohio Hip Hop Award. Congratulations.
That's legendary.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy Peanut, aka Dash Resource. I got my man Stacking Smedro the Commando.
What's up? What's going on? Well, everybody.
Alright, guys.
But, man, we want to, first of all, thank everybody for checking us out. Legendary People Podcast. Make sure you go to our YouTube channel, like, subscribe, ring the bell notification so you can get alerted every time we drop new content like we dropping today. It's spelled the Legendary People Podcast on YouTube, just like you see it on this overlay skin right there. It's spelled the right way. Legendary People Podcast on YouTube. So go over there, like, and make sure that you comment throughout the course of the show. And if you're watching on Facebook, make sure that you comment, and then we will read your comments on the air. We do want to say what's up to all our sponsors, which is Sheik's. Go to Sheik's for breakfast. They have an amazing breakfast. Definitely one of the best in the city. If you want some lunch, go to Agnes All Natural Grill. My bro North is on the corner of 3rd and Wayne. and it's really good. Like right by the library downtown. So Agnes All Natural Grill for lunch. If you ever get injured, call attorney Michael Wright, 937-222-7477. Make the right choice when you want to get lit a little bit. Get you some good old Kiara wine. You can contact my bro Antoine Cunningham on Facebook. I go to More for Less to get a bottle of Kiara wine. And the shoparea.com is like the baby Amazon. Delivery is always free from the store to your door in 4 business days. That's the shoparea.com. We are at T-Shirt Kings. T-Shirt Kings 247.com. Gold for your mouth and Camera Kings. Check out our metaverse location in Horizon and on the hubs. Gold for your mouth. Gold for your mouth T-Shirt Kings Mall. And like we really breaking some sweet stuff, man. So y'all gotta make sure that y'all go and check us out, right? Sell Stocks Not Dope every Sunday on the Dash Resource channel on YouTube. My bro Peanut Johnson teach you how to get a big old bag from investing your money in stocks. So make sure you do that. What's that?
Taking a point, taking with
take a point. Take Jazz. We taking a point from you today. You get a point taken immediately.
You got a point taken already.
Dad, what did I do?
You played your phone out loud.
Okay, my phone was stuck.
And Peanut, did you?
No, I was mimicking her. I'm making fun of her doing it.
No, I think your phone did say something. No, your phone did just say something. It did.
Right,
Don't do me like that. We're going to be fair today.
You get 2 points taken.
I'm like LeBron James. I'm playing to the level of my competition sometimes.
Come on, now.
All right, y'all.
Let's take this little punk ass point before we even start.
I appreciate that, bro. All right, y'all. So without further ado, we're going to get this thing cracking. So Peanut Johnson, over to you.
Man, listen, man. I appreciate that, bro. You did a great, outstanding, superb job, man.
Thank you,
The
bro.
fans like when we say, you did a good job again. Again. Not again, again, right? But, of course, there's no legend hire, as I said before, multiple times on this platform. I knew she was a star from the moment we got a little 15-minute interview with her with Jay Jones, okay? She already had me saying, I need to know more. So, conflict scheduling thing going on. She's a very busy woman. We're a very busy podcast. But there's no legend hire, like I said before. So, without further ado, we have Jasmine Brown. Give me a point, man. Give me a point, man. Look, he already messed it up. Give me a point. Look, give me my point right back.
I seen that shit about to happen. I was just mimicking. I was just mimicking y'all.
No.
that type shit.
That's a good one.
I was just mimicking you guys.
Wait. All 3 of us messed up to start the podcast off. This is going to be an amazing podcast.
Yes.
Every single time.
And it's raining. And it's a full moon.
A raining and a full moon. Look,
Yeah.
yesterday could have been Friday for real, and we could have swapped today for Thursday. And
Yeah.
yesterday could have been Friday. But we have Jasmine Brown here in the studio today. How are you doing today?
I'm great.
You look amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. I feel good today.
Yeah, you should. You know what? It
today.
wasn't much sunshine, but you were a part of it today.
Thank
There we
you.
go. All right, so
Appreciate it.
Here on the Legend of People podcast, we like to find out the origins of our legends. Without further ado, where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah, what part?
Oh gosh, a little bit of everywhere, honestly.
Well, let's start off the first place.
The first place, let's see, I stayed on Stanford. On
Okay.
Stanford in a 2-bedroom apartment with my mom, my dad, my brother, my aunt, 2 of her kids,
Yeah.
my other aunt, her son, and my grandpa when he would come and stay in town.
Wow.
And that was for a little bit, and then we ended up moving to Muma. We actually stayed on Muma for a little bit.
What hospital was you born in?
I was born in Miami Valley.
Miami Valley?
Yeah, the legendary. I think mostly everybody was born in.
St. Elizabeth.
I was born in Kettering Hospital.
I mean, you look like a
bougie.
Kettering. He look like a Kettering hospital, baby.
Yeah, take your bags, drag your bags back into the.
I was born in Kettering.
I was born in here. I ain't from here.
Okay, well,
They folded up his little what they call his after sack. They folded his up neatly and stuff.
Packed it up
Yeah,
for
packed
you.
yours up.
They put it up for you. Let you get all your placenta juices out.
Yeah, I just thought you an email account where you.
Take your rags and drag them back into the street, you Daytonians. I'm not from here.
Oh God.
Okay, so it's gonna be one of them podcasts. So
Yeah.
okay, so
Okay, so I moved around a lot as a kid, a lot. So after I stayed on Mumai, I moved. We lived on Fair Oaks. Fair Oaks,
Yeah.
when Tiffany's was over there and all of that stuff, the game place, putt.
Yeah.
right across the street.
Right across the street, exactly. Legendary. Yeah.
This your stomping ground.
Yes, and
Definitely.
so
He
when
got
I
to check in with you.
listen, I'm just
You the big homie over here.
I'm just
Go ahead.
trying to wade in the pool. So after I moved there, I moved to Annapolis. I stayed on Annapolis, which that's Kontiki was, you know,
Yeah.
still right up the street. I actually seen Juice. That was the first movie.
Right.
And then back in the day, you know, you had to be with somebody to get in the movie. So I lived down the street. I literally walked up the street to go watch this movie, and I done had it planned out. I done got behind some people. I done kind of like tried to like talk. Mind you, I'm still a kid.
Yeah.
I'm still a kid though. And I get in line like I'm talking to some of these people, and then just, you know, pay and just go ahead and go right in. So I stayed there for maybe about a year and a half, and then we moved. I'm trying to think, where did we move next?
Well, hold on. Before we go there, let's go back.
Okay.
So, Stanford, how old was you when you was there? 'Cause that's the first
I
spot
was
you
in
at.
kindergarten.
You was in
I
kindergarten?
was in kindergarten.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
And when I moved, we didn't stay there too long. And then that's when we moved to Mumai, and I stayed there from the rest of kindergarten because I went to Van Cleve.
Yeah.
Kindergarten, first, second, third, and part of fourth grade. Because I
All
was
at
at
Van
Jefferson.
Cleve.
No, at Jefferson.
Oh, at Jefferson.
Yeah, but I was on Mumai for that long.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But before we go there, so like you spoke about the first like initial part of your life was growing up having so many people inside that small like household. But without you knowing like the struggle there, what was some of the like good parts of growing up having that much family together?
Oh, like everything about that part was great. Like, I mean, because you always had somebody to play with. It just was always something to do. We had fun. Like, we went outside as kids and we walked. Like, outside. And we would walk from like here to like, I'm talking about miles. And as a kid, you don't think about that. And then it starts getting dark. And you like, hold on, wait a second. Like, I need to get back home. Like, so that the beauty in that is like my cousins we call each other brother and sister. Like my kids call my cousins like aunt and uncle. Like that's how close we are. So it was a beautiful thing.
Nate
It
Sean
definitely
said
was.
you're the reason why he's fat now.
Don't say that.
What's up, bro?
What's up, Nate Sean?
So, who are some of your day one friends, like besides family at that point in time? At that point in your life, because Lord knows you have a million friends.
So I had one of my best friends. Her name was Constance Malone. She stayed on Rockwood, and she was one of my best friends in like my earlier years when I was at Jefferson. Samara Toller, that's still my homegirl Sam. Like that's like my sister. Right. We've been on each other for forever. And then Keisha, my best friend Keisha, that's like the OBF. That's what she nicknamed us, original best friend. She like, that's my girl. That's hard. Yeah. That's hard. So I mean, that's really it. You know, I got like now I have friends now, but back in the day, I would say them
OBF
two.
OBF story. Like, the very first in Legendary People podcast history. Tell us a good OBF story.
A good OBF story. We were in high school. And we were in a car with some guys, and the police started chasing us. Right by Matheson.
Right.
And we was in a Cutlass, and I remember we hit the curb, then we turned, went through the alley. Everybody jumps out and starts running. I can't jump out because my door's stuck.
Oh, he had the color with the stuck door.
Stuck door. So here I am. I know the police is behind us. So I'm ducking in the car. Like the police done rolled by because they see the doors open.
So they think everybody
out. So the car gets towed with my book bag in it. I'm in.
So wait a minute. What happened with you?
What
You
happened
got
with
out
me?
the car.
I end up getting out the car after they left. I get
And
out.
whoa.
Yeah, I get out.
That's major.
Gets out, and I, cut through the houses, and I acting regular, like you see on the movies.
She said acting.
No, you did a handshake. You did a handshake. She said, I acted normal. Just walked out. You had both hands in both pockets.
Just start walking. Then I seen them, and I was like, hey, and then we kind of like, we see each other around, and So the car got towed, book bag in it. I'm having to like explain to my mom, like, well, I don't have books at this point. Like the car is in the tow, and he can't get the car out.
Right.
And I'm just like, I just need to go get my book bag because I got work to do. I think my book bag was probably in there for almost a week.
And he like,
Did he get his car? Oh,
he ended up getting his car back.
He's like, I'm worried about jail. You worried about your class assignment.
Yeah, I'm worried about school. Yeah. I'm an honor student. Like, I'm in pre-IB. Like, so this is not like just I'm going to school. I'm in 9th grade. I'm in the same classes with the same people. We just moved to different rooms.
Right.
Yeah.
Like we're one big family. But yeah, so that was pretty fun. I think that was fun. Yeah.
So shout out to
we're going to the comedy show. She popped up. She surprised me today. Like, hey, what's your day like tomorrow? Like, and then send me a screenshot. Like, I got tickets, so we going to go see Bubba at the comedy show. And she lives in Columbus.
You need girlfriends that are girlfriends also.
Absolutely. Oh, and my friends, like, pretty much all of them that are around me now, like, they all bosses. All of them.
And you know what? We're going to get to them, but we're going back to before you had to go. Right? We're going back to like Van Cleve era. So what kind of student were you at Van Cleve?
I was a good student. Like, I got pretty much all A's and B's up until like, I know like in 2nd grade, I got my fingers slammed in a door and at Van Cleve.
What was the situation?
We were at open gym. And it was some twins. I can't even think of the name. We were all ripping and running around.
Were they twins or badass twins?
It was some badass twins.
So
the badass twins.
Whoever that was, the badass twins.
Yeah, from Jefferson.
The 2 badass twins in Jefferson. Somebody put in the comment section.
Yeah. So they chasing me. I'm with, I think who was with me? Precious Lovato. Yeah. I think it was Precious Lovato. We run up the steps. She goes in before me. And I turn around like laughing like ha ha, go to turn like this. Bam, she slams the door. My fingers in the door. And all 3 of them. Like I'm talking about horrible. Like, but it's crazy because this finger was already crooked, so God was like, I'm just gonna make this one crooked for you.
Oh yeah.
But like my finger was like hanging off, and so they called my mom.
Literally,
and, literally, my fingers like hanging on this part of my finger. Yeah, it's like. So they call my mom and, tell my mom, like, it's been a little accident. So my mom thinking, like, it's not nothing. Yeah, my mom said she stopped and got bread. And then she said she got there and she just heard me. Right. No, seriously, it is funny.
Wait. That practitioner made it seem so cool.
Yeah.
She said, it's okay to get bread to come get you.
Yeah.
Man, any insight on this?
Well, guess what, Jazz? Listen, my finger too got slammed in a door when I was like 4 or 5 though, and had to go to the hospital, and they had to
sew it on.
They had to sew my finger. And my mom always told me this story, like I didn't remember it for real, but she told me that. I told her, like, don't cry, Mom. I'm okay. I'm okay. And I went back in there and got my finger fixed.
Yeah.
Me and you.
It's crazy because, Van Cleve.
If you want to be successful in business,
break your finger.
Yeah. Real shit.
Break your finger.
Go right now and slam your finger.
Slam it. Yeah. Just.
You're going to count paperweight for the rest of your life.
That's right.
It might have to happen. It might have to happen when you're a child. So maybe take your child and.
Yeah. You want your kid to be successful? Slam their fingers in the door.
Jay Cutler when we get home.
Slam your child's finger in the door. Oh no.
Oh God. Okay. So I told it's gonna be one on podcast. I feel it. So anyway, okay. Mm-hmm. So You slam your fingers in the door.
Slam the fingers in the door. My mom comes. I just don't understand why they didn't take me to the hospital because I was right there at Grandview. Like, y'all could have just, like, took me over there. Like, I'm bleeding, like, profusely.
Yeah.
So my mom gets there. She's like, she could hear, she said she just remember hearing me screaming because it hurt. Like, you know, it hurt. I get to Grandview and they give me, like, some popsicles. I remember that, you know, like, to appease me. It took them like an hour to like do something because I had to wait on a bone specialist because my finger was like, you can see it's jacked, like it's messed up. So they had to do that. I think my pinky nail came off, and they had like, I remember at night my mom would tie my arm up to the bed because I sleep well, and they was like, if you hit it too many times, it's gonna like knock it back out of place. So that was the hand that I wrote with. Like, my teacher gave me a C in handwriting. I never forget. Like, I was, like, real pissed off at my teacher. Like, that's messed up. You know, like, seriously, I'm over here with a broken finger, and this is how you gonna do me? Like, but that's cool, though. I'm counting paper. No, let me stop. Yeah. But seriously, you know that.
Said, yeah, I couldn't write the little A, B, and C, but how I write in cursive.
But right now, guess what? Somebody told me about 2 weeks ago, they said, you have rich handwriting. I said, what does that mean? They said, you write like rich people, like it's very legible, like it's very nice and elegant. I said, well, you want people to know what you're saying, like what you wrote down. Like, that was a big thing for me. Like, I practiced after that because I couldn't write, and I had to learn how to write all over again with these broke fingers. So
you and Smeg gotta have a write-off after this show. Like,
she gonna win.
That's my signature.
Like
that's my signature
right there. You're gonna win. I signed my name with some like just some
chicken scratch.
Well, it's not. It's my own. I have a signature.
Well, that's good.
I write like
I
write like I'm using the wrong hand.
Damn.
Like a doctor?
Yeah, my writing ain't that good. Oh. It's average. I say
there's a story behind my writing.
Gotcha. Okay.
Basically, left-hander showed me how to write my right hand, so.
Oh.
Shout out to my big brother Raymond, man.
So I ain't mad.
Yeah. So anyway, enough about me, more about you, right? So you go through the traumatic experience of that. Yeah. The recovery process is strenuous. You literally have to get your arm tied up at night.
Yeah.
So,
but it came out. It worked out good. You know.
So like, what was one of like another great memory from like your childhood up to that point?
Great memory.
Eric Cargill said that Grandview is not a good hospital.
No, it is. She did my eyebrows. Shout out, yes. Yeah. She did them eyebrows today. Got me looking.
Hold on, let me put the close up on you real quick.
Put the close up.
Oh, shout out to the Callahan fam.
Yeah.
Yes.
I actually went to college with her.
What? You what?
I went to college with her. Me and her were in the same class together. We don't do that. I was in the same classroom and you could have left.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
Oh, you was in there with some people.
Dr. Tweed was my teacher.
Dr. Tweed was my teacher at Sinclair. He was my psychology teacher.
Thank you. So keep on laughing, man.
He was super dope, though.
I was surprised you said you went to college.
Me, Maha Selassie, Jasmine Brown, Ariel, and Maha Selassie was all in the same, under the same teacher, bro.
Yeah.
Who was one of your prominent teachers, bro?
Ken Lowe.
Ken Lowe? Ken Lowe?
Yeah, Ken Lowe.
Hi,
Mike White.
That's what's up. Shout out to Ken Lowe.
Tight Whitney.
Greggy Lowe.
Greg, yeah.
Yeah.
Not the great art. Sorry.
I'm just trying to say. What I was trying to say is I went to Players University.
I know. That's what's up. Shout out to the real, clothing king, Kim Lowe. That's what's up.
So back to your greatest childhood memory before Smith cut you off with his ignorance.
I think one of my great childhood memories was going to. I went to stay with my grandfather for the summer, and he stayed in Winder, Georgia.
Okay.
And I remember, and he stayed like in the country, like. Mm-hmm. Like the next neighbor was like walks down.
Yeah.
And I remember watching him when we went to go and visit all my cousins and stuff, and I ended up staying. But while we were there, while my cousins and stuff was there, my grandfather had got chickens from down the street from my uncle. And I remember him putting this chicken in the bag and going like this and then letting it out. The chicken ain't got no head on it, and it's just walking, and then it just croak over, and then we ate fresh chicken. So like I think that probably was like my start of loving food. Then my grandfather.
That would turn me vegan.
You know what? No, because you eating this chicken and you sitting there as a kid. We eating fried chicken, and it's like
fresh.
This chicken is amazing, like the best chicken you'd ever had in your life.
Gotta be.
And then we eating fresh greens. We're eating watermelon out of his garden, cantaloupe. He made cornbread, and then so my grandpa, he gave everybody a nickname. My nickname was Lou. Because I had a great aunt Lula, which I never met her, but I guess when I was younger, I had jaws, they said like a bulldog, just heavy, and my great aunt, that's how she was. I was told that she was really mean. She had a lot of money, left her money to charity or something like that. Like,
so you the new Lou.
I was like, so, right.
You the new Lou.
I'm a new Lou, right? Yeah. So when I'm down there, my grandpa, like he make, they make cornbread from scratch. So he makes cornbread and he sweetens it, like specifically for me. He like, Lou, I know you like sweet cornbread, and like to me that was like the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
And then my grandfather, he was so special. He would send me the same birthday card every year, and my cousins, they all felt some type of way about that, but I was the baby like for a second,
Yeah.
But he sent me this card. It had a koala bear on it, and it would always say, with lots of love, God bless. That's his handwriting, So
Yeah.
every year he sent me the same birthday card. I still have 2 of them.
Yeah.
So like just being able to spend time with him. I remember when we came home, my cousin drove us to this bus stop that was out in the country, literally like a little shack. We got on the Greyhound, rode the Greyhound from Georgia to Dayton. Got downtown, and I think that was like, was it Wimpy's or whatever the little, I think it was Blimpies or Wimpy's, one of them. I'll never forget. It was like a little short person.
Are you being respectful for saying the term?
Yeah, I don't know a term.
The term little person.
Little person?
Yeah.
Okay.
But is midget?
Is
It is offensive, even though my daughter's
Midget
nickname
is
is midget. Yes.
Midget is an offensive word.
Yes, it is.
It's weird because I don't know, because there's so many
Little
people
person
say.
is a more respectable term.
Yeah.
Man, just trust me, man. I know so much.
I'm just saying, like.
But then I would think
That's
that
a-
little
I
person would.
canceled over that.
I think little person
No,
would
I
be
didn't
more
know that.
offensive. I mean, I don't know. I would think so.
So we go next. It'll be a white podcast. They say so. Nigger is offensive. Is it? Is nigger? We'll be in this. We'll be. I don't know.
It's not. Look at them all laughing at it.
Is midget? Is midget
midget
as
offensive?
offensive as is midget as
Listen.
offensive as nigger?
No, because no one's ever.
Nigger.
Wait. Nobody ever typed that, because I promise you do that, you're going to be Facebook blocked. Man trying to put you on Facebook jail.
No.
No. The term ER is more offensive because people were actually killed for that.
Right.
You weren't killed because you were short.
Okay.
You were killed because you were a color.
Gotcha.
So a little person.
Little person.
Little person.
Dang,
is a-
really? They like that better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a little
Sounds more
person
offensive.
there
Okay.
with some hoes.
A little pimp. A little pimp. A little pimp.
No, wait a second. You see the irony in this joke?
The irony in this joke.
The irony
Yes.
joke is we had to figure out like a term to call a person that's short. Then she
Only-
was like, and he's hoes, though.
And they were arguing. They was arguing, like, and he like hitting on them and stuff. And this was me, young, like, and I'm like,
Was he jumping
Like-
and smacking
like-
or were they all short?
Smacking them on their ass.
Oh.
Where was he smacking them at?
Did he have a ladder?
Oh, see? Harry said that's not true. What if
What
it's a midget nigga?
Shout out to the legendary comment section. It's a Reggie you won.
What if it's a midget? Exactly.
Oh my god.
Hey man, don't be calling me no You're like, man, shut up, you little midget nigga. You're like, man, don't be calling me no midget. They, it's okay to call him nigga. That was offensive. Damn.
See, I'm hot now. Okay.
Wait, so think I'm a little person, can you become a little nigga?
Yeah, you a little nigga. You a little
I used
nigga.
to call him No Leg Bobby. Never mind. All right, so
I'm trying to.
RP No Leg Bobby, man. I love you, bro. So it was
So,
you
yeah.
out there in a midget pimp.
So yeah, that was like one of the best memories of my life, just because it
You
was.
said midget.
Together in the term.
You
I use two terms that different together.
You just gave us the whole rundown on how never to say it. He turned right back around.
Y'all
My daughter's
see
nickname is midget, so I can say it. My daughter's nickname is. So you were out there watching a gorilla midget pimp.
Yes. Just and while I'm sitting here eating a butter burger.
Butterburgers are amazing.
Yes, they are. Yeah, I come
Man.
from that era.
That's where Agnes All Natural Grill is right now.
Absolutely.
At the old Butterburger spot.
Definitely.
Cause that used to be
Wimpy's.
and then you had where
White Tower.
White Tower. That's where we were at because White Tower is the barbecue spot.
Yeah.
and that's across from where
I saw this.
the Greyhound used to be. So that's why I was at White Tower.
There you go.
I saw this video on Facebook where they said no black person has ever ate at White Tower in the history of living in Dayton. Have you ever ate at White
Crazy?
Hell
Man,
yeah.
we used to kill that shit.
Right.
I went to Patterson.
Like I don't
White-
think that's true. Whoever wrote that,
Butterburgers was very
Yeah.
good,
Butterburgers
bro.
was lit though.
Yeah,
That was at White Tower?
At White
Oh,
Tower.
well, he wrong. My mama told me about this place.
Yeah,
they
White
wrong.
Tower was
They
good.
wrong. They
Yeah,
wrong.
Lose, whoever you are, I'm taking that point from you virtually.
Take it.
and I'm vibing with the team. Man.
Yeah,
Okay.
thanks, bro.
I'll take the 33.
William Taylor said, "Hey, Jazz,
What's up,
Mr.
Will
Reggie
T?
Graham checking in."
Hey, Reggie.
So she said no, midgets used to get killed too. What?
Oh, you kidding me? Don't do that. Somebody do.
You know
Are
what?
you telling me that? Wait. I'm ready to get canceled now for that. Listen, I'm ready. There was never no little secondary slave auction for midgets. Like, I need midgets that's clean underneath. I need midgets that can only clean underneath my couch.
You know what? You know
I
what?
only need a certain type of nigga.
Bruh,
The little people.
Hold on. Wait.
No, little nigga.
The little niggas. You know what?
Y'all.
You're
Oh
getting-
my
you're
God.
getting
King
cancer.
Davis never coming on here now, bro.
Ooh.
He just called me today.
He is amazing.
Yo, Mike.
Okay.
He's amazing.
Shout out to Bing Davis, man.
Yes.
Please do not judge us off this interview, man. I promise
Yeah,
you.
we just playing.
We don't talk about midget niggas that often.
You lit, bro.
Yeah, we don't talk about midget niggas that often. So anyway, so back to the midget pimp.
Okay, so we're gonna go away from that. It was just a good memory because I got to spend time with my grandfather. Yeah, you know. It was just... Next question,
sorry.
please.
Okay, so we talk about that, and we also like to ask people their worst childhood memory.
Ooh, my worst childhood memory is
The very first one you think about.
being
Yeah.
molested.
At what age did this happen to you?
I was in, let's see, the third grade, fourth grade.
Man.
Sorry to hear this.
So, did you coming up when you was young? Did you have your mom and your dad in the household?
My dad was on and off of drugs my whole entire life and in and out of jail.
Yeah.
So he stayed with us for a little bit, and then my dad got out of jail. I think I had to be like third grade, probably third grade. My mom had moved out at that time. My mom had ended up going away with her boyfriend to go work on a cruise ship. And so it was my brother, myself, my aunt, and my cousin, and my dad, and my uncle that lived in our house on Muma. And my aunt and my cousin, they end up moving out. My uncle did. So it was myself, my dad, my brother, and then he moved in his girlfriend with her 3 kids. And that was, my third grade year, because I was still at Jefferson. And I stayed with my dad probably until like part of my 4th grade year. And then that's when I moved back with my mom.
So when your mom left like that, not to be offensive, okay?
No.
But like, how did that affect you though? Especially as a young third grade daughter, you know.
It was harsh because when it happened, my mom was there in the house, and like basically like I got in trouble for it. Like it was my fault.
What? Hold on, wait a minute. Oh, you talking about the molestation?
Yes.
All right, come on. Let's walk this through.
And it was a family member, so it's like I come from the era where, you know, things are just swept up under the rug.
Right.
And
what age were you?
So like third grade
like
is
nine,
what, 9, 8, 9.
9.
Okay.
Yeah, 9 around there. And so it just, you know, you get in trouble for something that you don't know that's wrong. It was just a lot. Let's say that, a lot. And how it affected me, I feel like growing up, it was the classic, my dad's not here, I want somebody to love me, so it's like I have this boyfriend and it don't work out, then I'm gonna just find another boyfriend, and then that don't work out, then you got another boyfriend, and you got another boyfriend, and now you're a hoe. So that was part of my life for a little bit. But not saying that all parts of my life were bad, because they weren't.
So I want to ask you, like, just because, for instance, so like we do the Legendary People podcast because we love that people are forthcoming with, you know, like information, because this platform is for also to catalog your journey and everything you went through. Also for the people that's going to watch it and draw inspiration for what you've been through.
Yes.
What is something you wish that you would have had during that time of turmoil that you wish you could have instituted in yourself back then?
I think I just wish I would have had an outlet to really like express myself about everything. Like, I'm 42 and I just started going to therapy this year. And
well, that's great news.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm able to openly talk about more things that happened to me in my life, because I've been told that when I talk about it, one, it helps, and it does. I feel a lot better. One, because I know I'm letting it go, I'm releasing it. And then two, I know that there are so many people, so many women like me that have not talked about it, and they're still holding things in. And this is why you have angry, mad women that are going around, because they don't know how to deal with it. And then not only that, there's so many young girls. I just want people to know, like, traumatic things can happen to you and you could still overcome all of that.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to define who you are. You know, and I think just growing up like that, and then with my dad not being there and just other things happening to me, it pushed me into the person who I am. So I don't want to say I'm grateful for it, but I'm grateful for what came out of it, if that makes sense. So, yeah.
Something that's really interesting, before we started doing this podcast, I had no idea how many young ladies get molested like that.
It's very normal.
Out of 10
probably
women
8
that we've had come on the show, it's probably 8 that say they got molested.
That said it.
Not
And just think, this is a podcast, so it could have happened to
10 of them.
10 of them, and the other didn't feel comfortable talking about that.
Absolutely.
Like, man, that is so unbelievable, and it's by a family member or somebody that you trust.
And typically,
like, damn,
that's how it is. Yeah.
I just can't understand the mindset of somebody who would touch a child in any way.
Me either.
I don't get it. I mean, I can't understand
Yeah.
where that mind frame is coming from, though. It's like, bro, don't you just know that that's just
It's just wrong.
wrong?
I mean,
It's like, I don't know.
hurt people hurt people.
Now, I like my best friend Brittany. Shout out to Brittany. I love you to death, Brittany. And she says that a lot. But I heard something recently that made me change my perspective on that. Hurt people is also a person not accepting accountability.
Absolutely. I'm not saying that it's right. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying that that's typically how it is. Mm-hmm. Like, whether in whatever situation, hurt people. Yeah.
And to me, it's something I had to come to grasp with. I'll tell you this, something I'm personally going through is I used to give people that leeway or that luxury, and then it was I need to set boundaries, and that is what changed my perspective on hurt people. Man. Now it is, you can. I've been hurt and chose to love.
Yes, and that's how for me it made me be the opposite of everything that hurt me.
So that was my next question. What was the flower that bloomed from that?
Me being a mom, like, I think that was like one of the best things for me. Like, I got pregnant when I was in high school. I had my daughter in that same year that I graduated from school, and it was just, I found comfort in that. I found comfort in being a mom. And to this day, I remember my daughter, I never forget her senior year of high school. We were in the front room, and she's like, "Do you realize you never let me spend a night over people's houses?" And I said, "Yeah." Yeah. Like, I didn't. Like, people know. Like, my best friend watched my kid. She went over my cousin's house, my mom's, his parents. My kids didn't go anywhere because I don't trust people. I don't know who's in your home. I'm the parent. Anybody can come over my house. Yeah. I can have 5,000 kids at my house. My son had his whole, after his senior homecoming, they had their after homecoming at my home. Like, that's how I am. And it was only 2 parents who called, like, and checked the house, which I thought that was strange. Even though they're in high school, but still. And I was like, I'm cool. Even if their parents don't want them to spend a night, I get it. Right. I wholeheartedly get it. But I didn't let my kids go places. Right. Not spend the night.
Right. So I saw this one post that, like, it kind of went viral, but it kind of was funny, but sad in a certain, like, respect as well.
Jay Jones said what's up to
Jay Jones, shout out to the Platinum Chef, book the chef.
Yes.
With it, bro.
But, like, in this post, it literally was a mom talking to their daughter, and the daughter's like, "You never let me do anything. And she was like, "I'm 15. And she was like, "Yeah, and that's why you can't go nowhere." She said, "Why?" She said, "I'm 30.
Get it?
Did you read what's in the line?
Yeah.
At 15,
I had you. So why am I about to let you off the leash?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So wow. So but when you get a chance to do your middle school, what middle school did you go to?
I went to Fairport.
Okay.
Yes. Fairport. Which is no longer there no more.
Man,
but
Fairport was our little bro,
I loved Fairport. We had the best of everything. My 7th grade year, like, we were horrible at basketball. My 8th grade year, we won, like, state championship. Track, we had Mr. Milliner. Yes, I love Mr. Milliner. We had Mr. Booker. Yeah. We had all the greats. So, like, we were cool. Like, I cheerleaded. That's when I started cheerleading. 7th grade there. And we had fun. Like,
was you good? Was you a good cheerleader,
I was a good cheerleader.
Really?
Yes, I was a good cheerleader.
Look. Let
me put my hair back.
Antoine Cunningham, Kiara Wine in the building.
Checking in.
He said he need the vegan rolls ASAP. I need some too.
I got you.
I need that.
On God
today.
On God and today, we're gonna follow you to find them.
Yeah, man.
Look, that's simple.
Right.
Making a soul roll, people think it's just like, it's
go make it right now.
No, you gotta pick greens, cut them, clean them, cook them. Then after you cook them, you still gotta cook the stuff that's in there. I shave fresh carrots, so the carrots are shaved fresh.
Don't we get too much of the sauce out?
I don't care. Like, they can have it all. Look, they can't make it like me. Like,
right.
I'm just being honest. I mean, I can give you, like they say, I can give you the recipe. It's still not going to taste like
when you put
like
it
mine.
together.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I don't trip
It's
about
hard.
that.
Okay, so what else we put inside this soul roll that I'm about to watch this over
Chicken.
7 times?
It's chicken in there. Some
Man, we
braised
get.
chicken.
I'm gonna be so hungry
Chicken
after
is,
hearing all of this.
shredded up in there. Hair shredded and it's rolled. Then you got to roll the egg roll.
See, okay.
So I roll about 60 egg rolls because that's about a pack. So give or take, depending on how I'm moving, about 60 egg rolls an hour.
Okay.
And that's after everything is like the mix is done. So it's not like I'm about to go home and make me some soul rolls.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry.
So it's a good segue. So up
Yes.
to this point in your life, up into the middle school era, is there anything that you
Right,
can see
yeah.
to go back that fed into who you eventually became up to middle school?
One, like at school, because I was a good kid. Like I got good grades. I didn't get in trouble like during school. That's one thing I didn't. I had good people around me. Like my teachers always believed in me. Like I started going to school when I was pregnant with my daughter at Sinclair. I thought I was going to be a lawyer because every teacher was like, Jasmine, you're going to be a lawyer. You're going to be a lawyer. Like in my yearbook, it's like, I'm going to have a law firm. And that was the whole thing. I had another friend that was there. She wanted to be a lawyer too. We was talking about doing, sports law. And we was going to make all this money. Okay. And that was the goal. And yeah, it didn't happen. Life happened. But I started going to Sinclair that summer after I graduated, and I hated it. Like, I hated everything about law. I was like, this is not me.
What high school are we talking about?
I went to Meadowdale.
Meadowdale, the legendary Meadowdale. We're all Meadowdale alumni here. Snake, you got some alumni that you graduated?
I actually did not graduate.
But you got an honorary graduation badge.
Well, I went there to my senior year, but then I was expelled my senior year.
Man.
You still a good alumni, don't that? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
absolutely.
They want me to be an alumni.
Yeah.
They want me.
That's
They
hard.
want
We want
me.
you to be an alumni.
They want me to be an alumni now. But no. You kick me out. Now the best motherfucker whatever went to Meadowdale doesn't agree with you anymore. So think about that next time you want to kick somebody out.
Uh-oh.
I'm just playing.
He said that. So
that's what he said.
So one thing that we all liked about Meadowdale was the freedom that you had at Meadowdale. It kind of gave you that little bit of part of you get a chance to kind of get a little bit more leeway while still in school parameters. What are some of the things that you took liberty to during that time?
Catching the bus to the Salem Mall. The bus stop was right there. Yeah. I can remember me and my girlfriend like, okay, we about to go to homecoming. Let's go to the mall and go get an outfit. Yeah. We don't need to go to third period, 4 people. Come on, we'd be back before the end of the day. That
never happened like that, did it?
Yeah, it did happen like that. I mean, we came back. But just like, I don't know, I cheerleaded all through high school except my senior year. My senior year, I was just like, I don't want to cheerlead no more. But then I was going through a lot. I was depressed. I just was going through a whole lot, and I didn't even try out my senior year. Now, mind you, my freshman year, I cheered JV. My sophomore and my junior year, I was varsity. So
senior year, you could have naturally, easily got
it. That was not a problem. Then after I didn't try out, probably a month later, I'm at the games. I'm like, Dad, I want to cheer. Y'all really need another person. I done asked my coach, Miss Marshall, she was like, that was a hard lesson. No. And I'm like, oh. I was just crushed. Now, mind you, I'm going through all of this stuff. I'm going through just mental stuff and things like that.
What was the lesson in that?
The lesson was
Miss Marshall got the lesson is I'm on Miss Marshall.
Nobody's on your time, man.
Miss Marshall is the unforgiving.
It's not about you, Jasmine Brown. It's not. It's not about you. Team ain't no I in team.
Miss Marshall. Dang, I'm trying to think. I wonder, was that the same Miss Marshall that I had there? Did she do the job, what's it called? Jobs for Dayton grads?
She might have with Skinny Lady.
Skinny, yeah. Went with Coach Dayton. That was her boyfriend for a little while. That's Miss Marshall.
Mrs. Marshall. I know
she
her
was
daughter.
she was a really good person too.
Yeah,
though.
Miss Marshall was amazing. She had
Yeah,
a
she
daughter
is excellent.
named Tanya. She helped when we cheered. We did that. Then Mr. Ward, his daughter Nikki. Yeah, she helped us with our dance. Like we went to nationals, and so she.
You probably
she
got there
trained us.
like right when I was leaving. Like that.
What year you graduate? Or was going to graduate?
In '93.
I graduated in '98.
98. So you you
back
came like a couple of years after I was done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, nice. To the deal.
I'm 42.
And then Peanut came about 4-5 years.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, he didn't come that much longer after y'all. We kind of
We
like
all
went in
to the
stair
same
steps.
School because they got a new school, so at least we still hold that together. We all went to the real
Meadowdale. Yeah.
Meadowdale was a cool school.
It
was really cool.
Was. Yeah, you got to see our lion that was there. That was our class.
Oh, y'all created that?
Yeah.
That's hard.
That's what we gave back.
And it seemed like Meadowdale did have like a family little environment to it, man. Like all the students
Meadowdale was
kinda,
like a little bougie.
Yeah,
they was.
Like
in a way.
people
like baby
Trotwood.
Trotwood. Like Trotwood, like a step down from Trotwood.
Listen, no, let me tell you something funny.
Yes.
Everybody, like in high school, people assume that I either went to Trotwood
like
or
Trotwood.
Jefferson because I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, like my parents ain't got it like that.
Right.
They ain't at GM.
They did give me at, however, they did give me at Meadowdale.
They did give me at Meadowdale though. Well,
like,
my
hey-
family went there. My cousin went there. My brother went there. That's just like at Fairport. My cousins went there, so that's where I went.
Yeah.
Well, some of them anyway. But yeah, Meadowdale was cool. It was like a little mini fashion show every day. All the cute girls, you had all the great athletes there. We had the best cheerleaders.
Right.
It was just
Clearly.
Talking shit.
I mean, we won all the awards that was in the trophy case. It was mainly cheerleading awards, from back then. So
Yeah.
I learned from a lot of the good cheerleaders. They definitely, took me under their wing when I got there.
But what was one of those things from those inspirations that you draw back that you use currently today?
Currently, I think I just learned at an early age, and I guess I didn't really realize that I learned it, but I just knew that to never give up. Like, just from everything I always just kept moving, like no matter what. Like, I kept moving. There was times where I didn't want to do anything, and there was times where I felt very suicidal. And specifically, one of those times is crazy because I felt like I didn't have anybody that I could really talk to, or because I was going through other things at home, and I didn't really have anybody to talk to about it. And so I just felt like I shouldn't be here, and I had wrote my mom a letter, like I'm about to just...
Oh, you was full-fledged.
Yeah, like full-fledged, and God is my witness, like... Bubba ended up, the comedian, that used to be he was my boyfriend for a little bit. So he's still one of my best friends to this day. He knocked on my door. He was not supposed to be at my house. Dang. It was raining that day. And I remember I'm like literally got my coat on. I got a letter that I done put on the thing, and I'm just like, yeah, this is it. I'm cool. God, I don't even know why you got me here because life is fucked up. And he knocked on my door, and he was like, where are you going? And I was just like, why are you here?
Right.
And we was so close, and I showed him the letter, and we went out and started walking, and he reading, and he like, I don't even know why I'm here. Like, God told me to come here.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like, I think that's when I knew, like, hey, like, God is real. Like, really, really real. Because I went to church, but that's when I knew, like, God.
The church came to see you.
Yeah. And it was just like, wow.
Jody
like,
Coleman told us a story similar.
Like, God, you sent somebody to save me. Like, I'm never about to, why would I, I can't do this. This isn't fair. And so it just was like a wake-up call for me. It was like a really, really big wake-up call for me. Like, something is better gonna happen. Like, God got you here for a reason.
Absolutely.
And not saying everything was great after that,
Right,
but it was just like,
at least now you got a little
now,
bit more fuel
I got some more fuel. Exactly. And it was like, just don't stop. Just don't stop. And like everything, and I don't know why. I think it was because the people who were like outside of my house, like my teachers, my friends, like from a young age, like everybody always believed in me for whatever reason. I mean, I can see now, I get it, but then I didn't get it. But everybody, I mean, even to this day, people that I know, like, Jasmine, you the same person you was from elementary, from high school. Like, I'm going into the food hall with Illy's Pizza. And Rob, I've been knowing Robert since first grade. And he's like, Jasmine, I remember you wore these little Mary Jane shoes. We was talking about this about a week ago. And he was like, you're the same person, like, from then. Like, you're the same sweet, nice person. And it's like, I don't understand at times, like, I don't know where it comes from for me to gain this much strength to be the same person, like, after so many things have happened.
Well, let me build with you real quick. We got Randy Brookshire that checked in, said
that's my cousin.
He said Lions, Meadowdale Lions. Nikki Johnson, say the pretty girls.
Baby
Trotwood.
Yeah. That's my bro. JD.
That's what's
And
up.
then we got Nikki Johnson, baby, your purpose is bigger than you'll ever know, and you have touched so many lives. We love you, Jazz.
That's hard.
Beautiful. Purpose. And then we never let no one see us sweat.
Ooh, okay, Victoria.
What's up with everybody, man? Thank y'all for, man.
Thank
Keep them
you.
comments coming, man.
Yes.
But right.
Shout out to the legendary comment section, man. You guys always win it every single time. But what I want to say is something we've discovered on this podcast, where like we've done over 90 episodes.
Congratulations.
Listen,
Congratulations.
Don't give me the bus.
No, that's big. That's real big.
But it's one like undertone that we always get when we interview people with a actual gift, right? The gift isn't for you; it's for other people.
It's for other people. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like on Genius when Kanye West's mom said the giant never sees the giant. Like I never see who I am. I get up and go. Like on Wednesday it was crazy because I had Shamika the vegan chef. She popped up to the truck and shout out to Shamika the vegan chef. And I didn't have any more. We was done for the day. And she was like, Dad, I just left Serenity's. I just went, and got me some vegan ice cream or whatever. I'm like, that's what's up. That's dope. And I was like, I'm so proud of y'all. I appreciate what y'all doing. Y'all women, she just got a storefront. All these women just doing great things. And then she just looked at me like I'm standing in my truck and she was like, we just trying to catch up to you, OG. And I was like, it brought me to tears. And even now I'm trying like not to cry because it's like, I do what I do a lot because of my kids, because I'm the only parent. I'm not a single parent. My significant other is gone.
R.I.P.
And I tell people like, oh, you a single parent? No, I'm not a single parent. Their dad is not in jail. They can't call their dad. They can't write him. They can't do this. He ain't a deadbeat. Like, no, I'm the only parent now. So I keep going. I don't know any different.
Only one gear you got.
I just got in this just gas. That's it. That's all I know. So it's like, for somebody to say something like Jordan Smith from Smooch, she like on the way here, she like, that's my, like, she's posted like this boss lady and I've been looking up to her for forever. I'm in the car on the way here like crying, like, cause it's just stuff like that. I don't do it for that.
Right.
I never done it for any type of acknowledgement. I've always just done it because I know that our community needs things. They need people to help them, to guide them in the right, the right way. And I just do what I do because this is what God tells me to do, basically.
And this is something that me and you are in the same pool, swimming in the same direction on is. A lot of people don't understand that when you do this selfless work for other people, they don't know the value in a thank you. They don't know the value in a, man, I appreciate you doing. Man, you don't know a value in a, look at the results I got off your information. tell the person that, like, at least, man, take the hate in Ohio off for 1 minute. Quit being so cool. Like, just tell somebody, like, I appreciate you. Because sometimes when, you know, like, you'll see your video with 3 views on there. But all 3 of the people that watched it loved it.
Yeah.
But, you know what I mean? Tell the person, because you never know. One thing could be something that's a power station for them to continue to help empowering you.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
So high school, you're pregnant your senior year.
Yep.
But you still graduate.
Still graduated.
Right.
Yeah.
What was that accomplishment like for you?
It was amazing. Like, I never once didn't think I would graduate. My last year, it was kind of iffy. Like, granted, I had all my classes. I didn't even really have to come to school, except for when I got out of IB. The way they do it, you only take one part of government, like a half a credit or something like that. And so I needed this other part of this other credit to graduate. I just needed this. So mind you, I'm throwing up in the morning. Oh, wow. I'm sick. And Smear, you see me in my Chevy the other day.
Yeah.
So I'm driving this
Chevy.
I'm pregnant every day.
That Chevy?
That Chevy.
The same Chevy?
Yes.
Man, I had a 74 Chevy Impala, man, that was sick. What year is yours? Like
73.
73?
Uh-huh.
I had the 74 Impala, man. My Chevy was so mean. Oh, my God. I'm so sorry.
If you guys are at home taking notes, bang your finger in the
door
and get you a
Chevy.
Yes.
It wasn't. I didn't buy it. Willie bought it.
Right.
Like when I met him, like he had just bought that car. I had a car. I had a Cutlass. I had a 80-something Cutlass. She was beautiful too.
Was this the Cutlass that everybody jumped out of?
No, that wasn't it. That wasn't the one. That was the
car was in tow.
No,
somebody was driving.
No, that was
with your book bag in the front seat.
Short body Cutlass. I had a long body.
Yeah.
In my car, she was nice.
No doubt.
Yeah, she was real nice. Yeah.
So, so.
I love that Chevy that you was in. I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, so I had that car for forever. So I'm in this car, and we stayed on Hickorydale because at this point I had moved in with my kid's father.
Yeah.
And so right past in Hickorydale, it was this a little hill, and I would get there, and the car would cut off. So I'm like, I gotta get the class. Like, I'm not gonna graduate if I don't get this half a class. Like, come on. So I get there, and it's crazy because, oh gosh, Mr. Shull, I think maybe was my government teacher, older white man. We had to, this was super cool. We had to go to him as a project, have a business, have somewhat of a business plan, apply for a loan from him like he was the bank. I made a beauty salon. That was my business.
Wow.
And I kept missing his class. I'm killing everything. Like, dude, like, this ain't nothing to me.
Well, he's too smart to be
and he's like, we're counting attendance.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm like, man, I'm like, really? Like, are you going to do this? So, like, I need to graduate. It's at the point where they got their cap and gown, and I can't get mine because I got to pass this class.
Yeah.
And so, like, it was a struggle. Between morning sickness and trying to make it to this man's class.
Wow.
And I'm just like, I'm trying. I'm really trying. Like, but you don't know my situation, nor do you care.
Right.
Yeah.
Nor do you care. You know, but God made it work.
And you graduated.
And I graduated.
And then when you graduated, who all, was at the graduation that you remember? Who all was celebrating with you? Who are some of the loudest supporters
My whole
of
family was there. Like, my whole family was there. I have a picture to this day in my front room. My aunt, she passed away a few years ago. I love my Aunt Jax. I had a limo, and so the picture is myself, my best friend to this day, and my Aunt Jackie, and we like in the limo like this, like just it's in my front room,
That's hard.
like yeah. So it was just like, But all my family, that's one thing in my family. Like, when somebody graduate, we all pulling up. You're gonna be like, oh, they well known.
They're like, I don't know who graduation is, but they love them.
My family, I have a really big family here in Dayton, so it's like I'm really like, I think Dayton period is just, I don't really call it a city, it's a town.
Right.
And I don't want to be disrespectful, but it's a town. And we're all related for the most part. Like, seriously. Like, most of our family came from down south. They migrated, worked in factories, and we all intertwined.
I'm not related to any Johnson in the world, though, by the way.
Magic Johnson?
No.
No.
Man, my granddaddy lied about his last name when he came here. My granddaddy was a train robber. Man, listen,
he's a train robber?
My life story gonna be crazy.
But I think, if I'm not mistaken, from what I was told, I don't know how true it is, but my mom, I'm gonna have to call my aunt and see, because I never asked. Supposedly my grandpa killed somebody, like stabbed him or something, like, and they like was playing with his pocket knife, and I think like possibly accidentally stabbed somebody.
So like my granddad,
and
we are related now.
Yeah, and I think and so he had to flee from Georgia, like, and that's how he ended up being here.
What's your granddaddy name?
Ernest Morrow.
What? That's your granddad. Oh, shit. Your granddad had to flee.
Papa was a rolling stone.
Y'all are funny. The comments, Nikki said, Nikki, okay, that's my girl, okay, alter ego.
That's my OVF right there.
Yeah, I know who's out when. Yeah, we look. I know who's out when I see the ice blue Chevy.
Okay.
Hey, what's good, DJ Skano?
DJ Skano in the building. What's up, Skano?
So we gotta pull up this picture. I'm about the second picture, man, not the first picture.
Okay, all right.
So
I'll get there and pull it up. I'll go to the trade view screen.
So after high school, right, you got a chance to venture off and kind of, what they say, like sow your wild oats a little bit, or kind of have a little bit of fun.
No, I was the mom.
Oh, okay.
And I was I was a wife at that point. I was with my kid's dad, and to the day that he died.
Right, but you made a little bit of time for yourself.
I did, because he went away to jail. Like, I think, I wasn't even 21 yet, because I had my daughter, and he left in 99, like October 99. So I was 19, about to be 20, and I got to go and, but I always went out. So
you know what bitch I'm gonna pull up.
Go ahead and pull it up.
I'm trying to get it, but it's giving me some problems.
So Smith says that whenever we pull up an old picture like this, right, you gotta give the shout out to the people in the picture the same way you did if you were called in to the radio station. Like, you remember back in the day you got a radio station in?
Listen,
like so when
I used to be on the radio station, like on the countdown. You used to call in, like, oh, I want to.
And you gotta hang up.
You gotta hang up and do it again.
The second one.
Yeah, second one.
Hold on, here we come.
Here we go.
But then I gotta switch the camera view to it too, so everybody can see what we talking about.
Oh God.
Here we go.
For everybody to see, y'all. 3, 2, 1.
Hold on, here we go. Wait a minute, you guys. I'm doing this live. This ain't edited, y'all. We doing all this
everything
live.
live.
Here we go.
Okay, so
y'all just gotta shout them out.
Shout out, that's my best friend right there in the back, on the left with the blue. Shout out to Keisha Pierce. KGP, that's my OBF. I'm not sure who that is in the orange.
That's some people's on the low.
That's Stephanie right there, and with the glasses on the left in the second row. I'm not sure who is in the middle. Okay. That's me right there.
Where you at, Jazz? Let me see.
With the pink belt on.
That's you right there. With the white.
With the white on.
What that tattoo
The blonde hair. It's a crappy tribal band that needs to be covered up. It's one of the. Yeah, my second tattoo that needs to be covered.
We all got a bad tattoo.
Yeah. That is, oh gosh, Thomasina in the black right there.
Thomasina.
Thomasina.
What's her last name?
Oh, don't ask me. I don't know.
I don't know. You talking about Stephanie? That's Stephanie Beans and Thomasina.
Yeah.
Man, that's my family.
They stay right around the corner
on Queens.
My best friend stayed on Queens.
Yeah.
And her parents still live there. Her dad is Mr. Gray. Do you know the tree man that cut the trees? He's a legend around here.
But
yes.
But my niece, so Damien and Stephanie got a baby together. Juicy. Jasmine.
Yeah, she was named after me.
Well, my brother is Stephen is Jasmine's dad.
Wow.
That's in Minnesota right now.
Yeah,
and Stephanie. Yes,
Stephanie's
man.
daughter Jasmine, she braids hair and she's a lock. She does locks now.
Yeah.
And she's actually renting a space for my best friend, which is her godmom too.
What?
Keisha on 3rd Street. Yeah,
Yes,
that's why
man.
I said we all family.
Thomasina. Well, we was all at Meadowdale together at that time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Thomasina and Stephanie like this, and those are my sisters, man.
Yes.
Like, oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
See?
And this is wait a minute. I can name everybody in this picture too, as a matter of fact. Hold on, let me see. I see Angel.
Okay.
Thomasina.
In the middle, is that her in the middle?
So in the middle is Thomasina, then Angel is to the left, and then right here, that's Frankie J right there. That's Francis that's got the dress on. I'm talking about bottom row.
Bottom row
So
on the right.
bottom row from left
with
to
the
right.
leopard.
Yeah, that's Francis.
That's Lanithia.
Lanithia.
She does hair right there next to Thomasina with the silverish whatever that color that is, white back out.
That looked like Angel Smith to me.
Her name's Lanithia. She does hair, and she used to do hair on Gettysburg. She might still do hair there.
But then, I see Stephanie. I see Stephanie Beans right here.
Stephanie Beans.
Yeah.
Lanithia is right up under Stephanie.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And who's
Damn, that look like Angel Smith. In the middle is Thomasina in the black.
No,
Who's the middle in the middle in the white?
The middle in the white.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, let me see. I know her too, but I can't think of her name
who
right
is that? Text me and tell me who that is, Keisha.
Hold on, I'm getting up close on this.
Big ballers. And we was at Majestic.
Yes, Majestic.
Yeah.
Y'all was at Majestic.
Right across the street.
Right across the street. Right across the street from our shop. Let's go. Yes.
Tell us one of them good old Majestic stories.
See, I really don't have a whole. That probably was the funnest night ever. The other night that I had to like almost fight a dude.
Why?
Cause my dude was in jail and he started talking stuff like, I taught your dude how to sell drugs. I taught everybody how to sell. Like he just was like talking like just reckless.
Cash money records.
And he was like, yeah. And we had kicked it before, like.
So yeah, you was.
But he was trying to be funny. Cause I was with one of my old girlfriends, JL, and then another girl. He's like, yeah, I like all y'all, and was basically trying to like hit on all of us. Yeah, with
That's
JL.
my niece.
Shut up.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What's her last name?
What is her last name?
Ain't too many girls named JL or the first
Jelly.
She went to Colonel White.
And then she moved out of town. Got married to the dude with the Cadillac truck.
Yeah, he was in the he was like in the military.
Yeah. Damn, I
cannot even think of JL's last name. It's funny. I got a picture of me. That was my road dog.
Is it Grant?
How about
Jade and Jelly?
Grant. It don't start with an L.
No. I think I think their last name is Grant. It might be.
Don't get me.
I don't know.
I don't even remember
like that's
names now.
Yeah. Dang, man, we walk a lot of running in the same circles, bro. Whoa.
But yeah, that was a bad night because like the dude, he like got an attitude and he went to like spit on one of the girls that we was with, and I was just like, you know what? My nigga about to call later on, and when he get home, he gonna kick your ass. Yeah. Like I just remember like going off, and then I seen him before Willie had got home. He's like, I'm so sorry.
In the middle, that's tequila.
Tequila. It is.
That's Keela.
It is Keela.
Yeah.
It sure is.
Yeah,
that's I'm like, her face looks so familiar.
I couldn't tell that was her at first, but yeah, that's my sis too.
I just don't know who that is now in the orange in the back.
Look,
Keisha texting me.
Yeah, that's
Shout out to Keish.
You was a little younger than this in this
She said
picture.
they
You was
from
hanging.
Columbus. I guess they from Columbus.
Oh, the two girls in the back.
Right.
Yeah, so you ain't know people.
I ain't gonna know them. Thanks, Keish. See when your best friend pull up, like shout out to Keisha.
Right. So
Club nights. Ooh, I think I had my best nights at Spunk. Well, between Ivory Coast, I can say Ivory Coast, like the original Ivory Coast. Like I spent my first check when I was 14 at Merry-Go-Round. Me and Sam, the legendary merry-go-round. They they had what? Didn't they have a DJ in there? This was everything. We had the Salem Mall. That was just the best ever.
Shout out to Mary McDonald, man, because she out there working, man.
Yes, and I'm gonna lift her up because they've been trying to do her dirty lately. Yeah.
Like I said before to her personally, Dayton does better when Trotwood is flourishing. I don't care what you say. Like, we should focus on rebuilding Trotwood.
Yeah.
That money trickles over to Dayton.
My dad is the city manager. I call him my dad. It's my ex stepdad, my sister's dad. He's a city manager there.
Okay, look at
you. So I'm
connected on
I'm a little connected.
Yeah, if I get pulled up out there, I'm just
be like Quincy Pope. I'm calling my dad. Like, that's what I'm gonna do.
So these club nights
were amazing. So
and they were influential because
we danced.
We danced.
Like that was one of the best things ever. We actually danced. Like Nate, he won a percolator contest.
Which Nate?
Nate.
I know you're talking about.
Brave Nate.
Brave Nate,
who we all know.
Who got Carry the One kids.
Yes, absolutely.
Don't tell me kids he got to say Carry the One kids.
Carry the One kids.
Carry the One kids.
But Nate used to win a percolator contest every week, and we used to be so mad. Bump. Yeah, so Nate, get him on and ask him about percolator. Yeah,
he in there.
Winning the percolator contest every week, and I'm mad because I'm like, I know I could percolate better than him.
That is so funny, man.
So you had the battle, you had to beat him to win the title.
Yes.
That is funny.
Brave Nate, you wasn't spoken word then, was you?
No.
Nate.
He was dancing, Nate. But he still got it. I remember he made a video a couple years ago where he was break dancing. He was break dancing. He like, I still got it. Like, I ain't mad.
So I gotta ask you just off reference, right? So we know that DJ Divine, which is what was his name before that? DJ Divine.
DJ Chaos.
DJ Chaos. Have you ever seen DJ Chaos dance before?
I don't know. Probably. I might have. I just probably didn't.
Well, that means Brave Nate gotta win because you remember.
I remember,
Nate. So Brave Nate probably would wash the floor with DJ Skano. I mean, not the Skano.
Skano dance?
Yeah, he said on his podcast.
Shut up.
Yeah, he's like kill it.
I'm not mad. I am not. But shout out to all the people who just went to clubs and danced. Yeah. Like that's why I don't like going out now. Because everybody just stand around and look at each other like that's not fun.
Right. Or the girls that just dance for a minute while they just recording for a little bit.
Like, no, I want to slow dance. I want to, like, if I go out of town, I'm dancing.
Right.
Best believe, I'm dancing.
So, one of the prime places then was what? Michael's was open? Yeah, it was.
Michael's was open. I went to Tiffany's. I went to, it wasn't Spunky's anymore. It was Aristo's. I went to... Oh gosh, what's the one little place? Maximilian's.
Best place ever.
What else?
Cream. Brandon White said Dancing Nate. And then DJ Chaos, aka Mel Boy. And then I was a B-boy.
B-boy short for dancer, sir. I was kidding.
B-boy was hardcore.
So, okay.
See that Skano? You said, what's up to Peanut? And he played.
He was a B-boy. He was a dancer. B was still a dancer, bro.
I don't know.
You break dancing.
Yeah, you break dancing. You break dancing. The word is in there. I'm always trying to tell
B-boy?
Contact.
B-boy? Break dancing. B-boy is a break dancer. Yeah.
Let me see. I never. Well, listen. I grew up in the B. Like by the time B-boy was played out and nobody ever said it, then you were born. So what are you? Man, I was around when the B-boys was out. B-boy was like
don't worry, man.
like a tough dude.
Them direct deposits is
Ask Skano. Oh, well, Skano called himself a B-boy, which saying he was a dancer. So now I guess you're all right.
That's how I feel for him.
Right.
I don't think
that direct deposit still go hit right on time.
I don't think Skano knows what he's talking about.
Skano!
Skano, I just playing Skano. Oh, Skano said B-boy equals breakdancer.
Yeah.
Damn.
Come on, man.
Oh, B means breaking boy. A breakdancing boy. Shit, that's what y'all basically said. B-boy. B-boy, break boy. Break dance boy.
She said breaking back.
No.
Jasmine, you have she has a similar sense of humor that we got, man.
Right.
But she's doing it okay. Okay. All right. Woosah, right? Okay. So during those times,
Yes.
you did get a chance to catch like the nostalgia of what prime night outing was during this time, because you later on use that as a catalyst for what you do.
Yeah.
But so like, what was one place that you could find like the most influential?
Excuse me. Mm-hmm. I was actually right. Skano, wrong.
Look how petty he is.
B-boy, like I said, B-boy is a male who engages in the pursuit of hip-hop culture and adapts to its lifestyle. So it was much more of like niggas on the block. Like kind of being like thugged out in an 80 type of way.
Got
You feel me?
Now he reaching.
No way, man. I'm trying to tell you
No
what.
way, man.
But like if
You could. I say that shit all the time.
So what do they say? But do they say like b-boy dancers then?
Yes.
Like
All I'm saying, all I'm trying to. I'm in my. Well, it's chilling. I'm chilling. My yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
It doesn't mean breaking boy.
No way. And Skano said he need to call in. Y'all trying to play me.
Skano, no.
We thinking about breakdancing. No.
Skano, first of all, you are probably the best legend to ever come on this show. So never would we disrespect you.
We love you, Skano.
You are the real OG, no doubt about it. Hip hop legend DJ Skano. So no playing you at all. But on this, Skano, you're not perfect. You're not perfect. What? What? I know I'm Skano thin ice by saying that. And I said it walking gingerly. Okay. But Skano, B-boy is not all about break dancing. It's just somebody who embraces the whole culture,
Gotcha.
Especially in that 80s culture,
Yes.
where breaking was a huge part of that 80s culture, but it went outside of that. You know, we
were in the neighborhood.
There you go. Right. We was all right. Everybody was right.
Nobody got your points back.
All four. See?
Well,
I did all 4 years.
We can't see.
Well, this word believe me. Just everybody believe me. All right, come on. We back to Jazz. Come on, man. Let's get to her, bro.
I told you it's gonna be one of those podcasts. All right.
There we go.
So
Okay.
Back to the subject, right? So this is during the time of the era of people actually dancing. You got a chance to be abreast of that culture, to you know what I'm saying, get a chance to see what's going on, like the whole nostalgia behind it, and also you felt safe in those environments and in the same places that we frequent. Like this isn't a place we gotta go to Mars to go there. We're literally in the same place that people think it's too scared to go anywhere, man. And
Okay.
So you got a chance to get a chance to take that in.
Yes.
So what are the first steps that led to you, doing food, culinary, anything that kind of led to you eventually becoming the great?
Honestly, so let me give you the story about this whole restaurant. Mm-hmm. We were actually about to move. This was in 2010. So, like, my kids, they were in school. They went to Richard Allen. And we were about to move to Columbus. It was the end of the school year. My kids weren't even re-enrolled in school. We were just like, okay, we getting out of Dayton. Like, we're gone.
If you enrolled them kids,
our lease wasn't signed. You know, we didn't renew our lease. We were literally about to be out the door. And it was like, praise God, we getting away from here. Right. And then all of a sudden, he comes home one day and he's like, yeah, you know, my best friend Tatum, his sister, she moving back from California and she a chef. And we had this idea we should get a restaurant. I was like, no, that don't sound good. Literally, this is me. Nah, that don't sound good. Like, oh, okay, well, that's good for them. Basically, like, no, I want to do this restaurant. I'm like, how are you gonna do that if we're gone? Like, so you moving, you driving back? What you doing? He like, no, like, we gonna stay here. And I was like, no.
Right.
Like, I'm ready to go. Like, as a kid, I would be going out of town because it's one thing, we went on family reunions. We would travel for our family reunion. I would always wake up right there. They used to have a Reynolds clock downtown off the highway. Yeah. I would wake up as a kid. I would see that clock and be like, fuck, we're back here in Dayton.
Right.
Like, as a kid, I just knew I wanted to be somewhere else. I look on TV, you see black people playing, like in New York, they pop in the fire hydrant. I thought that was the life that I was supposed to be living.
Right.
And that's the life that I wanted to have. So when he said that, I'm like, no. So then he asked me, like, I don't know if it was the next day or 2 days later. And I was like, no, like, I'm like, you don't even work, and you ain't worked in no fast food. You don't even work in food industry. Like, you are no. And he's like, I worked at, where he say, McDonald's and McDonald's and I think Domino's were his uncle when he was little. And I'm like, that don't count. Like, I don't even know nothing about food. Like,
I'm gonna pause you on the story. What was the plan originally in Columbus? Like, was it a plan to go down there?
It was a plan to just go get a townhouse or a condo, enroll the kids in school, and then we was just gonna figure it out.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it really wasn't a plan.
It wasn't a plan. For me, I was excited because, as most people know, my guy was in the streets. And it was, for us, it was like, okay, we're moving away from that.
Right.
Yeah. So I was excited. Like,
a new chapter.
A new chapter. Like, we're moving away from Dayton. Like, the whole Dayton sucks you in and you can't get out. So I'm like, we're moving. We're finally moving. My kids was at an age where it would have been okay for them to readjust. So when he was like that, and then I think he asked me, like the third time, and I was just like, Dad, like, he really is serious about this. And I trust him. And so I was like, okay. And I just remember from the beginning, like, if we fail, it's not going to be because of me. So I'm going to put everything into it. So I don't even know how I got connected with the partnership, but some type of way, because I look up and research stuff. That's just me. I'm a researcher. Like, if I don't know something, I need to find the answer.
You talk to the person who does it for everything.
Right. So it's like, okay. I'm like, well, where are we going to be at? You know, and they're like, oh, downtown somewhere. And I'm like, oh, y'all want to be downtown? Oh, okay. Y'all some fancy Negroes.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so this sounded more interesting. So, like I said, some type of way, me looking at stuff, I came across the Downtown Dayton Partnership. Yeah. And they have a program called the Site Seeker Program. I filled it out online, basically asks you what you're looking for as far as what type of space, how much space, what your needs are, and they match you up with Downtown Dayton building owners, you know, so you can meet with them, and they take you on a tour of these available spaces. So we did the spaces. So he asked me this was like in May that we talked about doing this restaurant. June, I start looking at spaces. July, we went to Vegas my son's birthday was in July. We had a trip we needed to take or we was going to lose it. So came back. There was one space I didn't look at, and it was Delish. It was Gregory's Piano Bar at the time. And I was like, wow. Because I was stuck on, that stainless steel building across from, what is that now? It's not even Kettering Tower anymore. It's whatever it's called.
Oh, yeah.
The black building downtown. Yeah.
Across from the Mead building.
So I wanted that building.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
The Mead, I think that is the Mead building. The silver building.
Yeah.
That is a beautiful spot.
That is an historic building. I didn't know that because of its structure. Well, at the time, that's the space I wanted to move into because it was available. They were talking about they could have possibly helped put in a kitchen for us. And it was beautiful. Like,
right.
Y'all gonna be downtown. That's where we're gonna be at.
Yeah.
So when I got back from Vegas, that was the last building that I went to go look at was Gregory's Piano Bar. And I was like, wow, it is perfect. And I literally signed my lease the end of July. So we start looking in June, had the idea in May, looked in June, found the building in July, signed a lease in July, opened up December. It went just like that. And literally it was God. Like,
right.
I can't say anything else because the only person who had the knowledge of restaurant industry her name was Tawana, which was his best friend, one of his best friends' sister. And we opened up in December. It was a horrible partnership. She was gone by March. There was one other group of people that was in, his other friends, Dante and his wife. They were gone by June. So before the first year, I had a whole restaurant to myself.
So let's talk about that part. Like, what is bad business to you? And you don't have to be specific because you have two different scenarios to draw from.
Right.
What is bad business to you that made you shy away from continuing to do the partnership with someone?
She just wasn't a people person. Like, the communication skills weren't there.
Right.
Like, you're the chef. Like, you really just need to stay back in the kitchen. And she didn't know how to communicate. And then plus, too, I think it was just some stuff that was going on. I'm looking at the numbers because we putting in a lot of money. And I'm like, this don't look right to me. I ain't no business person, but just don't seem right.
Right.
And I'm like, if I'm going to go with my gut every time. I trust it. And we end up getting into it. We, physically.
Wait, you put fops on somebody?
Yeah. Because, we had already had a meeting where we was going to put her out, basically, find somebody else. And this was her brother and everything.
Oh, wow, okay.
And so we end up having a meeting. This was, I think, maybe January, maybe February sometime. And
so y'all open in December, y'all already having a meeting in February.
Because we knew that she wasn't the one to run this space. I'm like, because we don't put a lot of money into this.
Right.
And a lot of the money came from our household.
Right.
So it was even from the beginning, I'll never forget, one day she told me, this before we opened, she's like, Jasmine, you're pretty. She's like, you're going to make a good hostess.
I'll make a good owner.
Yeah.
I came home that night. I said, you know what this bitch said? She said I was going to be a hostess. I said, and I was so offended because I know how that is. I know I'm not a quote unquote ugly person. And I get perks from the way I look sometimes, and sometimes it's a gift and a curse. But it's you're not going to play me because of my face. You don't even know me. And then, the group gave me free range on to decorate and design the space. So she wanted these spots, these dots, that at Melting Pot, they had these circles on their walls. And she was like, I want these. And I was like, I don't want to look like anybody else. No. So after that, and they vetoed it, it was her and I never really had a good relationship.
Right.
She felt like, I'm the chef, I got the expertise, this, that. Why are y'all listening to her? And so I was just like, all right, Jasmine, you got to just prove yourself to, I didn't know. The first book I read about opening a restaurant, it said, so you want to open a restaurant, why? And it went into most marriages fail. this, that, every bad thing. And I was like, why are we doing this again?
Yeah,
I'm like, make this make
Yeah.
sense. Like, but it was just being honest, because a lot of restaurants do fail. A lot of marriages do fail because you're working so many hours. And then on top of that, I'm working with my spouse. So I'm seeing your ass at home and I'm seeing your ass at work.
I be needing my breaks, period.
Right. So let me know how this is going to work out, because this right now just sounds like a bad deal.
Yeah.
But it ended up, like I said, January, about February, we had a meeting about some stuff, and I just was like, I remember telling her she was unprofessional, and she got to high-pitched voice and this, that, and you will be gone before I'm gone. And I said, my household funded this whole thing damn near.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'm not going nowhere. But she didn't know that we had already been talking about getting her gone.
Out of here. Yeah.
So she in her feelings, I'm in my feelings. We're emotional, we're females, and she came and we just started tussling. And before I know, my finger was messed
gave her
up.
a delicious ass whooping. That's what you gotta say. A delicious ass whooping came out of this.
The best thing I can say about her, though, I will say this, is she gave us the name Delish.
Okay.
Yeah.
She named it, and she actually could really, really cook. Like, she really could. Like, her food was amazing. Yeah, she opened up Sweet Dots that used to be actually where I live at now. Like, in right Dunbar.
Right.
See how things come full
Life
circle?
go full circle.
Yes. Look, my grandma and them, my auntie and them grew up on Broadway. I live right there by Broadway. Like, things are just a little strange. So, yeah, so she was gone by March. Yeah, by March. And then by June, my other business partners, because they actually had moved to Columbus.
Yeah.
And they were commuting back and forth, and it was just too much. And,
Right.
and some other stuff, too. So, it was just like... yeah, my sister-in-law had got into it with his wife, and it just was.
It's too hard to have a business with somebody else.
It is with family.
Yeah,
with
with
friends.
anybody.
I mean,
With anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, when you want to make a move, no matter what, man, in order to have to vote on these things. Yeah. And then when somebody votes down your idea, it does get to be like awkward a little. You like, man, damn, that shit would have worked.
I be telling Smed this all the time. I come with some of the greatest ideas, and Smed just continues.
No, I don't believe that.
But
yeah, I can see that.
But just saying, like, any business with somebody else, I don't know how people do it.
And it's like, I feel like for instance, my best friend and I, we talk about having businesses together, like, because she's a businesswoman. And it's certain things that I know we will do, like, because I know her mindset. I've been knowing her since the 4th grade. Yeah. Literally. Like, she knows me, I know her. You see me, you see her. Right. One of them. Right. And so I can see that. But... yeah, family is hard. My aunt, she wouldn't hire family for the longest. She's like, I don't want y'all working for me. Like, it's going to be an issue.
Yeah. See, so I have the theory of, like, forcing of, like, a business never works. But organically starting a business does. It's like, people will fall in line to our same aspirations, such as, I want to do this, you want to do that. Okay, now we can find common ground off of that. Rather than me saying, okay, I want to make money, you make money. That's not where you start at. You know what I mean? We all want to make money. So, so like your first year, you started what? 2020 is when it.
2010.
2010.
Yep,
I mentioned
2010.
Okay, so through that first year, it was a little turbulent. But so you get to the anniversary of the first year. Yes. And at the anniversary of the first year, how many people have you lost during that journey?
As far as like workers or. Well, restaurant business, you have high turnover in, like, as far as, like, front of the house and sometimes back of the house. I can say to this day, the 2 people that work with me on my truck worked for me at the restaurant. Actually, 3 people worked for me at my restaurant. My people that are going into the food hall with me, my main person, he's at Firebirds right now, but he was with me since the second day I opened, and he's coming to the food hall.
There we go.
So all my kitchen staff is the same.
So like, this is where I want to politic with both of y'all, right? Because I am, you know what I'm saying, aspiring small business. Like, I am the business right now, right?
Absolutely.
And I eventually want to start hiring people. And you guys have already been through this process before, right? What are some of the pitfalls you see when you're hiring people? And what are some of the nightmares that you've seen? And how can you avoid them? Let's just make
How can you avoid them?
Let's just bash some former employees. How about let's do that?
Okay, so I'm in a restaurant industry. So restaurant industry, front of the house, they get paid almost every day between this bartender servers. So when you get paid every day, that's quick money. So that means you attract a lot of dope fiends, whether they're functioning or whether they just alcoholics. I had a cook who would drink the cooking wine. Like it was that bad. Like restaurant people, I'm gonna say it, we're weird as hell. And I'm okay with saying that because that includes me. Right. And I am weird in a good way. Right. I'm not a weirdo.
Yeah. Right. I said that about my friend Pharaoh Sebastian, who's and I say, bro, you weird. In a good way.
In a good way, yeah. And because you don't want to be like everybody else.
Absolutely.
Like, I taught my kids that. You know, like, yeah, we a little different. It's okay.
There's something wrong with you in a good way.
In a good way. Like, you be glad that you're not like everybody else.
I ain't calling weird. My bad, bro.
Yeah. But, like, I mean, I've had workers, like, I'm talking about nodding, like, taking orders, like, promise. Like, I can't make this up. Like, yes, I can't make this up.
So you want a large omelet with a...
Yeah. Yeah. Like, my guests can tell you. They know. Like, they can type in some stuff. Like, oh, yeah, the one worker, remember her? Oh, yeah. It just... And then you could tell when some of them are high, and then sometimes you can't tell. And it's like, then you got alcoholics, like I said, that work. So that's like in this industry, like the biggest thing. Like, and then people stealing your food. Between your bartenders giving away your liquor and your workers in general stealing out your damn refrigerator.
So it's a lot of stealing and thievery being stuck out of whatever job.
Yeah. So you just have to... I don't even know. I can't even say about, like, right now. I would rather to hire like really, really young kids, like from high school, so you can teach them and kind of mold them and train them, because I feel like all young adults need to work in some type of hospitality, whether it's cleaning. My first job was cleaning. I was 14 and I cleaned dorms at UD. So just imagine nasty dorms, kids ain't clean nothing all year long, and I have to deep clean these to get ready for next year. Nasty. Right. Just disgusting. So, yeah. So I've always been humble. Like, if I can clean the toilet, I can do anything.
Right.
Like, and that's just how I feel. Like, I was a maid before. I've been a maid. I've worked at a hotel before. I've had my own cleaning company before. So yeah, between that and then young adults working like in some type of food industry, because it teaches you really good communication skills and dealing with different type of people.
Right.
So
Smith, anything you want to add to this diatribe right now?
You know, everybody that works with me has always stayed with me for a long time, for the most part. Like, I'll tell you an example. Like, I just now hired Jay, you know.
Shout out to Jay, man.
Young Shauna.
She feeling perfect, yeah.
But, like today, she got off work early, but she just stayed up here a little while after she got off work and just kind of chilled for a little bit, you know. And everybody that works here always comes back and kicks it, even though they might want to move on and work somewhere else. But when the type of work environment that I have is definitely built around family and built around upbeat, energetic type shit, you know. And I'm not I telling people what to do at work. I'm not really not that type of person. I don't like bossing people around and shit like that. To me, it's I feel like I'm talking down to people when I tell them to do stuff that's obvious to be done, you know? And so I'll let so much build up And then, like, when I finally do say something, it's
When's
going to
your
come
birthday?
off. Huh?
When's your birthday?
August the 7th.
Leo gang.
My son's a Leo. That's
I'm
what's
a Leo
up.
too.
I
Yeah.
think we talked about this when
Yeah.
I was here the last time. Yeah.
But I really don't. I don't know, man. Like, saying people work for me, I won't even take it that far. I always feel like, man, we work together. And, you know.
That's like me when people would ask me, like, oh, I know you. And I'm like, oh, probably from Delish, you know. And then they're
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, I used to work at Delish. I used to work
Right.
at that's what I typically tell people. Because
Yeah.
it's not a big thing to me. Like, yeah, I'm the owner. Like you said,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a conflict person. I avoid it at all costs.
Yeah.
So, like, having to tell somebody what to do, like you said, and it's obvious what you should be doing, it makes me uncomfortable. And I don't want to feel that way.
It's going to be hard to go from working here to working somewhere else.
Yes.
Like, you would almost, and I pay more than other places, and the work environment is just constantly, it's gonna be lit. We sell t-shirts and gold for your mouth, and so it's a social setting, and everybody that's working here, I almost put them with some type of partner
Okay.
that, like, my son and my nephew work here.
Oh yeah.
All right, and then I got like Leah and Shayla, they was best friends, and I had Tay and Lola, they was cousins, and they worked together. So you are actually coming to work with people who you love and care about, and y'all are working together. So it makes you both want to come to work, makes you want to stay here, and then shit, if you coming and you working with me, then I'm gonna just treat you like you my family. Like, it's so much family shit, but the only problem with that is people don't know how to receive love.
Yes.
And then with me being so kind of like, I wouldn't call myself laid back, because I'll go in and be like, man, what the fuck going on? And I'll talk, you know, I'll go off as needed, super as needed. You know what I mean? But I don't know, like they might go outside and smoke a blunt or something, you know, and I don't like that shit. Like, you fucking are taking this shit too far. Yeah. I'm telling you to come here with your family, but come here and work. Like, don't come here and blow it.
That's how I was. Yeah.
You blowing it. You blowing it. Like, bruh, now you really trying to play me, because my customers don't need to come in here and deal with no high person fucking up their orders. And then when something comes, like, if I'm not coming in here high, nobody should ever be in here high. Right. You know, approach this the same way that I approach it. You know,
that I've not come to work high, because I have plenty of times.
Huh?
I said I've been at work high plenty of times.
Right. And when I was younger,
I needed it.
When I first got my store, I used to get high and didn't understand. But then, while I was there, somebody would always come in and ask me for something, and I would be looking for shit that I could normally find. I'm scatterbrained, or I'm high, and now I'm a little more suspicious of motherfuckers coming in. I'm paranoid and shit. So I learned
that a wallet or a gun in your pocket, sir.
For sure. So I learned after my first year to say, like, you know what? If I do want to smoke weed, then I'll do that shit when I get off.
In your free time.
It for sure. And so, I mean, with employees though, you know, man, people quit jobs so much, man. You kind of need they fucked up work, but
yeah.
But at the same time, you can always find somebody that will do it.
Because I know, like, at the restaurant, sometimes I've been in a position where it's like, I can't fire this person because I need them. Mm-hmm. Like, that's the worst feeling ever. Like, it really is. And that's why after I closed and I decided to do this food hall, that was one of the big things is I don't have a front of the house staff. Right. I don't have servers. I don't have bartenders. I just have to worry about kitchen people coming and cooking, and then whoever's at the front taking your order.
Right.
So, and I can train somebody to do that. That's called Chick-fil-A happy.
Yeah.
Like, you got 2 chances, and that's my motto right now going into this food hall. If I have a worker, if you can't come to work Chick-fil-A happy, you have 2 chances.
I tell the same.
2 opportunities to call me and say, you know what, Miss Jazz, I am not, and we can laugh about it. I'm not Chick-fil-A happy today. I need a day. Okay, well, that's 1. You got 1 more.
Yeah.
And if you, because there's no way I can go to Chick-fil-A, and it's my pleasure every time I go there. Every single time. Thank
when
you.
I hire
My
people,
pleasure.
I tell them I need that.
That's what they're gonna tell you.
When I hire like this, since the people that I have hired since COVID, since I've been in this location, I tell them all that I want Chick-fil-A service.
Yes.
Like I want my customers to receive that type of welcome.
Y'all two speaking the same language this whole
I
time.
promise my exact words. If I call them all and say, what did I say?
Yeah.
What type of
I can
greeting
call
do I
my
want to
staff
give?
right now that's on the truck. What have we been talking about?
Chick-fil-A is the
Chick-fil-A
standard
happy.
of
It's the standard. Yeah.
That's how you want.
Of customer service.
Yeah. You want your customers greeted with that type of energy. You know, that being delicate with your
how
customers.
many times have you ever went to Chick-fil-A and you had bad service?
Never, not once.
Okay.
None.
Never, not once.
Never,
None.
not once.
But which brings me to another point that I believe that the people that work at Chick-fil-A are it's a cult.
Oh my
I'm sorry.
But let me
You
tell you,
know, I'm sorry I had to
but let
say
me
it.
tell you something really crazy though. Is because I actually thought about going to Chick-fil-A and getting a job
just
to go through the training. Yeah. And I
Right.
still actually got a little bit of time, and it's
Yeah.
been on my mind lately. Like, Jasmine, you can work like a day,
get
you
the
know,
little
like,
onboard training and then get
and then
them out
go
of there.
and like, I'm so sorry, you know.
Yeah. That called market
But you-
research.
well,
Absolutely.
That called market research.
It is, but can you get hired at Chick-fil-A?
Yes, you can.
Yes.
Act like she ain't
Absolutely.
working nowhere.
Yes.
You better, goddammit, clone up.
Yes.
Because I'm telling
My
you.
pleasure. I'm the best.
But you
I can see you going
definitely,
there and yelling the interview.
they like super like Christian evangel.
Bruh, she used to be a cheerleader, cuz she got this in the bag.
Like
bro.
they don't even like having like unmarried people like do their franchising, if
Right.
I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah, you gotta do a little. You gotta
Chick-fil-A?
take that motherfucking Chick-fil-A,
man.
Shout
that
out to
Chick-fil-A
On
vaccination,
Sunday.
Chick-fil-A vaccination shot. Then you'll really be.
Oh my God.
Then that
They put
like
a
you
chip
want to work
in
here.
you. That's what it is. They put a chip in you.
Man, put you on remote control.
So-
my pleasure. My pleasure. My pleasure.
And they have you
My
outside in the rain.
In the elements.
But guess what? They make you comfortable. They give you coats.
Yeah.
They give you warm
A
jackets.
Chick-fil-A jacket.
goddamn.
Yes.
Chick-fil-A hat, little Chick-fil-A little
Safety
umbrella.
patrol.
The sit on your head.
When I say
a
they
safety
have-
patrol jacket.
Yes, this way. You need. You are next.
Yeah.
Go.
Much
like,
needed in black business. Chick-fil-A friendly. Yes.
Chick-fil-A friendly.
I'm gonna start injecting everybody that work here with some real
When-
ass
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A lemonade.
Look,
Damn.
look, don't let this man fool you. He the grumpiest nigga off.
Yeah,
I
right.
don't know, Piglet.
Oh, Eeyore! No.
I'm just
Don't listen to Peanut.
No,
I'm
no.
a-
Spread is full of joy. I'm being silly. I just got to fuck with him all the time. So, 2012 was, after that. So then you have your, you being featured in the Dayton Daily News for
go.
the delicious wings. It was Super Bowl. Was it?
Probably so.
Yeah, it was Dayton Daily News. How to make delicious wings for Super Bowl.
Okay.
And,
Nice.
and yeah. And how did it feel to be featured for something like that? Originally, you was like, nah, I just want to go to Columbus and do push-ups.
Right. I mean, it was gonna be something like that.
Something like, that's what awesome.
It was honestly like everything about it was amazing. Like the first time like somebody came in and was like, oh my gosh, this is the best such and such I ever had in my life.
Yes.
It was like, it was a high, and you get addicted to it really quickly. Like, it's something when it's instant. So it's not like you smoking, you drinking this. It's like somebody, you can watch somebody take a bite of something and you can see the look on their face
Instant
of
gratification.
how they, and it's like, ooh, and it's like, that's mine. It's like, this is mine.
All
Like,
right,
Yeah.
all right, you got
I
ready
was-
for nerd moment? All right, so I took a nutrition class, right? The moment that you eat food and it satisfies all your senses, it's called umami.
umami.
Umami's
Like
yeah,
UAM.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
exactly. And that's
umami.
food. So it's certain things that flavor profiles that gives you that umami, like burgers, certain
Yeah.
things that are, the crispiness of the edges of it.
Yes.
Like it's just certain. Yes,
Things
I
that-
get
that-
it.
yeah,
Yes.
that- yeah.
Okay.
Somebody asked, My brother JD said, what kind of food are you serving at the new business? I'm about to put it back.
What new food? Okay, so we're doing, of course, all of our egg rolls, all of our wings. We will do chicken and waffles. We will do shrimp and grits. This menu is so pared down. So I want you guys to know this before you come in and be like, where is the whole menu? It's a food hall.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, I can only cook so many things, you know. And then we cooked a lot out of our kitchen. Our kitchen, it wasn't even this big at Delish. And we had a double-sided menu. So shout out to my kitchen staff because they are amazing, like at what they do. But our menu is definitely pared down. I will have a special every week, and it will be a weekly special. That's something from the old menu, because I know people are gonna be like, this is my favorite. Like, I love the turkey chops, or I love the salmon Diablo. I love the fried lobster tails. Well, lobster tails is $1 million right now. If y'all want to pay $1 million, then I can put them on the menu, but not right now.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be some of the same things. I do have more vegan options. Even when we started out, it's crazy. The first year that we were in business, we had a vegan option then in 2011. Right. So we've been on the trend. We've been on the trend. We was the first restaurant here to do shrimp and grits.
The first to do chicken and waffle. The first to do sweet potato, cornbread, corn muffins. I can go on and on.
She's a soldier boy in it.
I won't say the first to do an egg roll, but I was the second.
Right. Okay.
The first in a restaurant.
Right. The first egg roll was the first egg finger
Jermaine
roll.
said he needs some of them good lemon pepper chicken.
Lemon pepper steppers is going to be around forever.
By the way, Jermaine said he was my best customer, and Jermaine, I'm gonna give you the nod, man.
That's what's up.
My bro come through, man. But Jermaine, you ain't no customer shit. You are. You definitely family. You my brother shit. That spends that cheddar. Gets them deals.
So those are the things that you're highlighting on your new menu, but we're still in the middle of 2012, guys. We'll get there, guys.
2012.
All right? So 2012.
So and it's a great feeling. I'm 32 years old. So when we started, I was 30. So I'm 30 years old with a restaurant on the corner of First and Main downtown. Already, that's like unbelievable. And I'm black.
Right.
And I'm a woman.
Say that.
And I'm across the street from Victoria Theater, next to the Schuster Center. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm on cloud 9, like, oh my gosh. And then from the beginning, we always wanted to do music, do poetry. So I hooked up with somebody, and we started bringing artists. And it was like, so now we have like national artists here. Then we're doing comedy. And and it's like, it really became like this legendary thing, literally, like really, really fast. And I'm like, wow, I'm a part of this. Like, it was such an amazing feeling. Like, I can't even describe it, because absolutely, because initially you didn't get to hear it because you at work all the time. But then when you somewhere in a grocery store or somewhere and you hear people talking, going down the alley, like, girl, I'm going to Delish, this, and I'm just sitting up there. I can feel the tingliness, like, right now, how it makes me feel. And it's like this is mine. Like,
man, keep talking in the grocery store. Y'all keep talking.
But then in a sense, it's like, it's ours.
Yeah.
Like, it's ours. Like, I do this for us, for black people that look like me, for women that look like me. Right. Like, just to know, like, I grew up where I came from. I met a dope boy who was in the streets, and before he passed, like, he really, like, was changing his life. And it's like, I'm still in awe of that. Like, this little girl just from Dayton, like, I ain't nobody from Cincinnati or Columbus it's just like, no, like, I'm from Dayton, and this is me giving back. And so, like, that's always been important to me, like, because I saw how people, when they came in on Wind Down Wednesday, like, we had we called it the runway. That was the runway. When you walked in, there was another set of double doors. When you first and foremost, let's talk about walking in the doors.
Yes.
When you walk in the first doors, you see a little chandelier. It's like, oh, this is nice. Yes. And then the windows are tinted. Then you open it and you like, I am not in fucking fucking
Dayton
Dayton
no more.
at
Yeah.
all. I'm in New York. I'm in Chicago.
Yes.
I'm in somewhere else. Like, I designed that space, so I know.
Yeah.
The bar, it came from Chicago. We was at a hotel that we went to, and their receptionist desk had this like iridescent glass tile. I remember going and searching for this tile, like literally.
That's hard.
But we went. Let me tell you why we went to Chicago, because Brian Higgins owned Sidebar at the time, and he was one of the first. Well, he was the first black restaurateur that had a fine dining establishment.
Yes.
So when we would celebrate, when we would do things like when we got our liquor license, we went to Sidebar
Yep.
and we drank.
Yeah.
And when we got something done, we went to Sidebar
Celebrate
and
there.
we drank. And just to see him in his element, like, that's somebody who I wanted to mimic. He was always chill. He sat back. He interacted with his guests, you know, a little bit, but that's what he did.
Kept it playing.
And I found out where they got their drinks from.
We found your vendors, cuz.
We found he had a mixologist from Chicago, and we went to Chicago to meet with his mixologist.
We're gonna meet your connect, cuz.
Yeah, and he knows that. He knows this. Like, he's one of my good friends to this day. Like, I love him to death. He is just an awesome person. But that instant gratification when you see people and when you're like, you see their look on their face when they walk in, and it's like, yeah, it look good. I know it do. Like,
Absolutely.
but that Wednesday night, I'm talking about people dressed up to go out on a Wednesday night
Yes.
in Dayton.
Yes.
We had valet parking. Like, I
Yeah.
got pictures of my whole place. Granted, our capacity was like 108. I'm talking about we probably had 400 people in there on the live on Sunday, on the, you know, like party nights. Like, and the thing is they did dance. They did have a good time.
Yeah.
And it
Beautiful
made
place.
me feel like I was young again.
Yes.
Like, this is what Dayton is missing.
Major.
So when I closed, it was just like, I had to, but like I could see the hurt in people, like from the text, from the phone calls, from the posts. Like, I felt for everybody, because I know what it was for me, and I know what it was for them. So it's an amazing feeling to get honored or to be in a newspaper. And it's like, my aunt used to work for Dayton Daily News, and they would have family days, so I knew how the newspaper ran. I knew everything about Dayton Daily News. So to be featured in a newspaper, which for that, it was amazing. I had been featured in a newspaper before when I was younger,
Right.
but to have something and it's yours, and here it is, like, people want to interview you because of your food and like what you do, and it's like, this is weird, but it's like the dopest thing ever.
So 2012 Taste of Miami Valley Best Appetizer and Best Damn Award.
Yes,
So you
for my soul roll,
for
best
so-
damn taste
Yeah.
and best damn appetizer.
What was that like to win those awards?
It just felt good, because it's like, this is our product. Like, this is something that nobody else has. Like, and it's white people out here, and y'all,
Fucking what we got going.
right?
Yeah.
Cause y'all like collard greens. Y'all like these collard greens.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's one of them feelings where you just warm and fuzzy all over, and it's like, dag, like, I didn't know I was gonna get awards, but yeah, I want all the
I'll take
awards.
it.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
We got some comments for you guys too. Best sweet potato souffle and turkey chops and soul rolls.
Hey,
Absolutely, Nikki.
Brandon White said Jazz made it cool to be black downtown. That you a
Pioneer.
pioneer.
Thank you.
Nick said
Thank
it.
you.
We were there several times a week at every event. Still one of my faves, and it was a
Yes.
whole vibe down there.
Absolutely.
Definitely a whole vibe.
It was.
It
It was. It was
Absolutely.
beautiful,
like
man.
the
It
word
was just sweet.
vibe could have came from right there.
Right,
Like,
It was.
I don't know, like, people, you felt safe, you felt like you can come down and dress
Right.
up. I remember when we first started doing Wind Down Wednesday, I'll never forget, I had an older woman call me. She left a message. I called her back. I remember on the phone with her. I never forget this. She was like, we've been coming down there for a while, and your Wednesday nights have like really changed, and I think you should do a dress code and this, that, and other. And I broke it down to the lady like this. I said, you know, when you go to church and Jesus says,
Come
as you are. I said, Wednesday night is church at Delish. It's church because it's 50-cent wings. They may not be able to come on a day when it's regular and to pay $26 for a lobster or $30 for a steak. But they can come and buy 50-cent wings. You got a $3 minimum. Like, I'm not going to seclude
alienate
my people because this is who I want them to come in so they can see it's okay to come down. It's okay to come downtown. It's okay to, you can see a black person own something. You don't need, there wasn't even anybody doing valet parking like that. And it was free. Like, people don't understand, like, restaurants, if anybody is on
Fleming's,
here.
go to Fleming's.
Go to Fleming's, which that was our date night. Like, my husband and I, we would go on Monday nights. That was our date night. We would go, half the dinner time would be talking about business. Then it's like, okay, we're not doing business no more. It's enough for the write-off.
Right. Say that. 100% on your taxes this year.
Yes. Thank you. Because restaurants, if you Google it right now, look at tell me what the profit margin is for a restaurant. It's nothing.
Right.
It's nothing. I can make $1 million. I could bring $1 million in.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna see it. I don't even think I could see a quarter of it. And that's me busting my ass doing a lot of the work myself.
Right.
The profit margin for a restaurant is somewhere like around 5%.
Ouch.
5.
Damn.
Don't sound too glorious now, do it?
Show it on. The t-shirts, boy, you can mark them bitches up as high as you want.
Yeah.
Right.
Like that. Like, I'm just saying, like, I had a friend of mine, I had to ask him, like, Google it right now and tell me what it says.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it has to be something else there for me to do this.
Now, I'm about to ask you. So, like, what is one thing that continues to push you or compel you to keep going?
My community, hands down, because I know what I provided, and I know that there aren't a lot of provisions out there for us, and I know it's needed. It's like one of them things is needed, you know, and the community, they just, as many times that I hated down there, the customer service was, because we done had terrible customer service. I will be honest about it.
Marlon Shackelford checking in.
What's up, Shaq?
What's up, big bro?
What's up, Jazz? Great guest.
We have had horrible service. I am very honest about it. Like, but sometimes you can't. Sometimes you got what you got because everybody who wanted to work down there, they wanted to work to be seen. And they don't want to work. They want to kick it. Like, and I'm like, no, this is work. We can kick it. Yeah. Because we do kick it as a family. But like, everybody knows.
But everybody want to be on those given nights.
Absolutely. It's like, I want to work and kick it with my friends. I'm going to serve my friends. And, you know. Yeah. So, but definitely my community. Like, they are like the biggest push for me. And then too, for me, it's a legacy. Like, I have something that I want to leave behind. I want to, like, one day I will have a stone, a brick in Wright Dunbar. Like, I will. Yes. And it's going to have my name on it. Like, I have really great mentors right now. Miss McLean is one of my...
Ron McLean literally was one of my grandmother's great friends. Like, please tell her that my grandmother loved her. To her that my grandmother Annie Bonaparte. She knows Graham.
I will tell her.
Ron McLean.
Yes,
I love Ron McLean.
She is such an amazing person.
She is.
I mean, she gives me, like, we go on walks. If everybody know who knows, we walk. If it's 50 degrees or more.
Area, she's like in the same area.
Oh yes, because she lives right down the street from me.
I know, right.
And so, like, our longest walk we've ever did was 10 miles. And that was just in the neighborhood. That's because, A, she stops and talks to everybody.
You cannot help it. Right,
and it's funny because, like, I know a lot of people, but she know everybody.
You cannot help
the bus stop, the bus drivers, they wave when we're going down, when we're walking. And we typically walk in, like, in the neighborhood. Like, on West Dayton, we walk between downtown. We'll walk downtown. We'll come back this way. We walked everywhere in West Dayton in that vicinity in like a 5-mile radius, like, but just going because wherever you gotta go, you gotta walk back. And
That's why I like treadmills.
See, no, they're bad for you. But she said something to me a couple weeks ago. She's like, so you know a lot of people and you're really popular, and I'm thinking, that you're going to run for something. I'm going to be your campaign manager. So I'm like, what? I was just waiting for it. I was like, and I told her this. I was like, I knew it was coming one day. I just didn't know when. Mm-hmm. And I was like, no, I don't think I'd make a good political person. But it's so funny because everybody calls me like the mayor of the city. Yeah. And it's like, I'm like, no, I don't think I want that responsibility. I like helping on a different level. Like everybody knows I donate time, I donate money, I donate my energy to a lot of different places. And I love doing it that way. And so then I kind of like tickled her fancy. I said, well, what should I run for? And she's like, city council, we can start there. And I was like, and it sounded good.
Jasmine Brown City Council.
And it was I'm ghetto
so
as ever, and I mean, but
shout out Jeffrey Mims. He started out there and he became the mayor.
And he became the mayor. He's my neighbor. He lives right down the street
Look
from
at that.
me.
You okay,
so right Dunbar. If people don't know, like all the city officials live in right Dunbar. Like Brandon stays there. Like he's the county recorder. You have ex-mayors, city council. You have so many prominent
future
people.
Mayors.
Future
man.
Listen, I don't know about that, but they say that you speak things into existence, and I definitely do know about that. That's one thing I can say, and I didn't know I knew how to manifest at such a young age. Until like a couple years ago when I thought about some things, and I was like, wow, I've been manifesting stuff for a long time. Like, right. And now I do it intentionally. Like,
Jasmine Brown City.
Right. No, I'm just going to be on the sidelines and saying, what do y'all need? How can I help and be of service?
Yeah, you're going to move the person that was in front out the way. And then we go, okay, it's cool. Yeah. So, but like, let's talk about one of the prominent areas that we love here in Dayton. It's the Downtown Brown era, right?
Yes.
So who are some of the people that are part of the Downtown Browns? And just run down what the Downtown Browns is.
So the Downtown Browns, when we started the Downtown Browns, it was really, I had got down there and then I saw like one of my girlfriends she has a beauty day spa down there.
And the beauty bar?
The beauty box.
Yeah, the
beauty box. And Lisa Scott, shout out to Lisa. And she had been doing my nails since we started, but she lived inside a cannery, so she was doing nails out of there. And I'm like, you should think about moving downtown, like getting your business down here, because she was trying to figure out where to go. And I'm like, man, like it's not like what I thought it would be, because I'm like, ain't nothing downtown, and then when we got there, it was like,
you were the thing downtown.
I was the thing downtown. Right? Yeah. like no black
hard.
people was not coming. If you didn't work downtown, you weren't coming downtown.
Yeah.
For what?
Right.
Like there's nothing there. So it started out, she got down there, and then Nicole, which she's remarried, she used to be married to Jose, to North, and Juanita from Third Perk. Shout out to Juanita. The perky barista. It was like, I just saw this thing where I was like we are like brown and black, and we're women, and we are down here, and this is huge. So it turned into this thing like we're the Downtown Browns. And we actually started to get a TV show. And we should have done it. Yes. Like we worked with a guy and we was talking about all the merch that we was going to sell and all of this. And it was just like, first it was like, oh, I'm going to do this for free and this, that. Then it turned in, well, you got to put up this much money and this. And we was like, we thought we was jumping into this because you believed in this project and this. So it turned out it didn't work. But I wish it would have.
Man. Smed had an opportunity. Go ahead, Smed. Talk about your reality TV show opportunity.
Well, I was just reading this comment with Shaq. You said that you was about community and putting respect on your name.
Thank you. Put some respect on the name.
Shout out to Robbie Lynn. No one looks more beautiful in polka dots and stripes together than Robbie Lynn.
I
love her to death, man. She is a fashionista.
I love her. Like, she told me one day, she's like, I'm gonna give you, because she knows I love hats. And she always has on a hat. So like one day, like we were upstairs at my restaurant, because she came to my restaurant faithfully, like, and she brought young people. Like, that's one thing about her. She mentors a lot of young people. Yeah. And she was like, I'm talking about her hats, and so she's like, I'm gonna gift you my hats in my wheel. And I'm like, about my legs just about like crumpled down. Like, but you're not going nowhere. I went skydiving with her. This woman is 73 years old.
You went skydiving?
How do you not know that? How do you not have that on your list right now? Just saying. How do you not have that?
Take it.
Yes. And we went skydiving in November of October. I think it was either October, beginning of November. It's on my page. Yeah, we went this woman is 73 years old. She's been skydiving since she was 50. So she skydived over 20 years. She's been skydiving. And it's just like, when she had talked about it, we were walking, and she's like, oh yeah, Demetria, she wants to go skydiving for her birthday, her 50th. And I was like, I want to go. And she was like, do you really? And I was like, yes, ma'am. And so she was like, okay, well, we're gonna make it happen. And we was like, we're going skydiving. The week we were supposed to go, it rained like crazy. And I was like, oh God, no.
Nah, I ain't going.
And I was like, no. I was like, and I'm scared of heights. Or I was scared of heights. I was scared of heights. But this was something like, I don't have a bucket list per se. I don't even know what to call it, because it's like things that I know.
You take the B off and put an F there.
Yeah, one of them.
DJ Scano is checking in, talking about.
He said, right.
He's like, I knew that. Right.
Well, exactly. He's trying to say he knew that, and
so
you didn't. And you didn't. And then he said, right outside the fix.
I posted the whole video.
I want to personally give you a point.
Yes.
For
ding, 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 ding.
And then I did want to say one other thing. When you took that point from Peanut, you snatched that. You snatched it. And now I give you a point.
Oh, thank you.
Snatching a point from him. Oh. You are, and you like winning an award. I'll give you another award right now. Best Guest Award. On the Legendary People Podcast.
I did the same thing to him for the Realtor and Blue.
Hey,
Realtor and Blue still.
Hey,
all right.
You are special.
Thank you.
I bow to you.
Oh God! What is happening here?
I'm humble.
What is happening here today?
I bow to you. It's Kano.
So skydiving, right? Let's get to the skydiving.
You a pro.
All this other research I did was.
Do you know I got a t-shirt line? Do you know I got a t-shirt line?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Do you? I mean, wow. Do you even know she had a restaurant? Do you ever know Do you even know? You know, Delish was downtown. I mean, God, is this serious? Is this a serious interview?
The last person said that when I remember that Monique said that to me.
Monique, man.
Oh my God, bro.
We help her find her son.
Shout out to
and she showed us. She said, "Y'all not asking the right question."
No, she pointed at me and said,
"Man, Pino is about to just
I ain't never cussed
flip
on
the table."
That. Yeah.
It was so funny, but she wanted us to say all the stuff that would condemn his. Well, I don't know. Her son ran away, and it was a bunch of shit. So never mind.
Okay.
All right, Ebony Dominique is cracking up. Man.
I'm laughing at y'all. It's a conversation. So let's talk about Dayton.com, the Daytonian of the week.
Oh yes, that was me. That picture, I was conquering my height fears because I was on top of what is that building where the Grand Hall is in now? It used to be an old bank, and now it's it's a event space downtown. Oh God, not Talbot Towers, one of them buildings. I don't know, but we did a whole thing. I went up there and conquered that, and then Amelia's like, hey, I want to feature you for Daytonian of the week, and I'm like, me? Like, Like,
you was major, man.
Like, hold on, wait. Like, I mean, but it's because I have a hard time accepting. Well, I did. Let me rephrase that. I used to have a hard time accepting compliments from people. Like, oh, you're good at this, you're good at that. And I was just like, I just wake up and just go to work. You know, like that's just me. But it was such a good feeling. It was such a good feeling. I know, right?
Listen to the first part of this interview. You will see I've been in my bag all day. All right. We got Ambitious Magazine. All right.
Oh yes.
Okay. Play with me, y'all.
That year was
the only reason he's saying that is because you are a great researcher.
Yes.
He knows that. He knows that.
You're amazing at what you do.
I just didn't know it was skydive. I skipped past that. I'm like,
look at the flow of this interview and how great it's been, bro. This has been nonstop, man. No dead air on our show, baby.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I don't normally get compliments from you, so.
See what happens?
There you go. Ambition Magazine.
Ambition Magazine. Shout out to Lakeisha.
For sure.
She is a dope person, and she just celebrated her anniversary for her brand too. Super dope brand. And she was like, "Hey, I want you to be on the cover of my magazine." And I actually have a picture of it in my office, and I'm like, really? I'm always like, really? Like, I'm just like shocked, like these people think so much of me. And I'm like, really? And then I did a photo shoot, which is awkward for me. Like, I can take a selfie or somebody, but like photo shoots, I am very awkward in because I feel like I'm just like this the whole time. And I'm like, I don't want to suck in, I don't want to do this, but I'm like,
what I put my hands in the picture?
Right. And I'm like, and he's like, just act normal. And I'm like,
what's normal?
What's normal? Doing a photo shoot is not normal.
Okay.
It's not a normal thing you do on a regular basis unless you're a model. And I ain't no damn model.
Well,
I don't.
Nerd moment. Nerd moment, right? Mm-hmm. No. Did you know that back in the day when like they took picture of people that was like dead? Right? You know they would take pictures with the dead?
Yeah.
Back in the day, they didn't have cameras where they could take like an instant picture. They would have to hold that pose with a dead body for like 10 or 40 minutes.
I was chilling with my dead homie.
That's doing too much. Be like, bro, we need to wait to the future to start doing this shit. When the cameras get developed.
Yeah. All right. My bad.
No, you're fine.
You guys, we are at 99 comments, man. Make sure that we keep commenting, man. You know what I'm saying?
The Grand Hall. That's what it is. The Grand Hall. So that's where that photo is taken from. Is I'm on top of the Grand Hall taking
you
that.
conquering your fear of heights, though?
Yeah.
So what did you do when you went to the top of the building? Was you outside on the roof? I went
for an IG with Tom Gilliam. He's a photographer here in Dayton, and he was having an Instagram meetup. That's when Instagram was getting cool. So I'm like, oh, I want to go. I'm always doing stuff downtown. Like, I always try to show people like it's shit to do.
Yeah.
Like, literally, I can show you stuff to do. You just have to step out your comfort zone. That's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Scavenger hunts and all kind of stuff.
All type of stuff. And so it was like, when they told us that, I wanted to go and see this building. So we got to tour like the vault, and then there was like, oh, we get to go to the roof. And I was like, oh, okay. And then they had like in there, they have like the original 3D model of the building, like when it was built. Like, it's so dope. It's so stinking dope. I was like, wow. So we get up here, and then we have to crawl like these little steps to even go outside. And at first I'm up there and I'm like, okay, cool. And it's like, okay, Jasmine, just go to the edge. And it's like, huh? Like, but this is my brain telling me this. And like, that picture is a selfie of me. Like, I did this. Yes.
Is it a rail up there? Is a rail?
It's windy. No, there's no rail up. It's like just it goes up like the building itself, but it's still like
you could fall over.
You could die.
Yeah. But did I die? As my kid would say. My kid is like, Mom, but did you die?
Right.
No, I didn't. And
that's what the Benz dealership said to me when they fixed my tire and my wheel fell off.
Flipped that table over.
And my wheel fell off.
Why you was driving?
And since I didn't die, it's no big deal to them.
Oh.
Man, that's what you need, like a representative for to come in there. And
did, but all the lawyers said the same thing.
Oh.
It's like, you didn't die. What are you mad about?
What you mean? What what I'm mad about. I have a traumatic experience now that I have to rewrite in my brain so I don't be traumatized.
That's the same thing. Me and you say the same thing.
Y'all say a lot of things the same, but one thing we always say: you ever injured in an accident, please make sure you contact
Attorney
Mike
Wright.
Wright. Please.
Absolutely.
Make the right choice.
Make the right choice. Yeah, Mike called me because somebody just Gino, his barber, was like, hey, he hit me up on Snapchat like a couple weeks ago, like, Mike wants your number, and Mike Wright wants your number, and I'm like, did I do something? Like, hold on, like, I don't think I did that. He's like, no, he was trying to see where you eat, where your food truck gonna be at, so you get some lemon pepper wings.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's what's up.
Shout out to Michael Wright.
Yes.
Yeah, so,
Yep, George Clooney did do a movie there. Yep, he did. That was one of his last. Not George Clooney. Well, not George Clooney. Oh God, what's his name? Ooh.
Bob Saget.
No, it's an older white guy. Stop it. You know what?
What are you talking about, Bob Saget?
He died.
He did.
Yeah. Didn't he hit his head or something like that? Or he had.
they didn't release the full.
Or something like that. They said.
It's suspicious.
Well, they said that he was dealing with little Mary-Kate and Ashley, though.
Man, all right.
And then he had a whole stand-up show talking about it, but the audience was laughing and
He
shit.
got crude sense of humor. Like, if you ever watch him like do comedy, it'll throw you off because you're used to him being a wholesome dad on TV. But his comedy has always been raunchy ever since he's always been
But some of it is coming from a real place.
Yeah.
So on February 17, 2018, you posted.
Uh-huh.
Are you nervous?
Nope.
No.
Maybe.
You post, one of the greatest feelings in the world is watching your children blossom into the person they are supposed to be. Thank you at Beauty Box Microblading of Dayton, the real Jay Scott, for inviting us to the most wonderful event. The best part is being here with the people I love and that love me. Congrats to you both. Love you. You were at the Image Cinemas of Carlton.
I was in Toronto. And it's crazy because my son had the t-shirt on last night when I went over his house.
Man.
Promise. He had a t-shirt on. I took my son.
Take that, DJ Skano.
Skano is actually contributing to this interview a lot. He said 2 men and a gun.
What's his name? Robert Redford or something?
Well, they said Clint Eastwood.
No, it's not Clint Eastwood. It was like Robert Redford, or I think
Robert
somebody find
Redford,
that.
okay.
I think it was Robert Redford before he passed or something.
The movie, though, 2 Men and a Gun.
It is 2 Men and a Gun.
2 Men
Yes,
and a
it
Gun.
is.
Shout out DJ
And that's where
Skano.
they shot it
Great
there.
job, Skano. Continually.
But that was like
JD
it was
said
a Black Film Festival.
JD said I think.
Yes.
JD, sorry, JD, we got to take a point from you. I was wrong. It's Robert Redford, but Clint Eastwood, Robert Redford. To us, it's all the same. Tomato. Nah, hold on, nah, JD. Listen, bro. Clint Eastwood, Robert Redford, tomato.
Tomato.
Right? You know, that's like saying LeBron, Jordan, Magic Johnson.
JD, give me that point real quick, dog.
Sorry, guy.
All right.
So, Toronto's Black Film Music Festival.
My son does film. He can direct. He can write. He doesn't like to do the editing. He started out really young, probably like, I have to ask him how young. I get mixed up. Like maybe 10 years old, starting to do stop motion movies. And I knew then that he like was serious about this at a young age, because he would have to pose or move something like 200 times to do like 30 seconds worth of footage. And he's a kid. And so my son likes action figures. Like now he likes a whole bunch of different things like the cosmos, and he can tell me all about past lives and things like that. He's so super
I love
cool.
all of that.
I love him.
We need your son to come on the show.
He's amazing. He is.
Definitely want to bring him on the show, man.
I would love that. Yes.
Let's do that.
But to move, like make this look seamlessly move across the table, it like for 30 seconds of footage, he had to do like 200
and take a picture
of
every
each.
incremental step.
Yeah. So
Nice.
I knew then, like, oh, this is what my kid likes. He's good with his hands and blah, blah, blah. So let me go ahead and try to hone in on that. So for that, my friend Lisa, her son is a film major. his first film has like won. That was the first award he won, was in Toronto. So I got to take my son to see this, and it was like one of the best feelings ever, because I knew like this would inspire my kid to like, you actually know somebody who's like won awards, and this was his first film.
Right. Wow.
Like his first short story. Like, and I'm like, this is like amazing. Like, I got some really cool people in my circle, you know. So that was just like a really feel good moment then. Like, especially you doing something with your kid, and it's like, wow. So yeah, I'm always a mom first.
Cool. So while Smear prepares his next picture that we're gonna post,
oh God.
what is he working on now or currently?
So he just stopped being a full-time vegan. He started eating meat a little bit, but he's working on gummy vitamins with elderberry and something else he's doing. And then he is doing a film with, he was telling me about this new Marvel movie and some characters, but something with like Transformers, and how like Transformers actually correlate with the cosmos and how it actually correlates with us. And he was telling me like with lightsabers, how a lightsaber, mom, you can make it with the crystal. Have you realized, mom, the crystals were in lightsabers? That's what gave him the power. So he's doing like this whole
deep dive on it.
Yeah, he's like been very spiritual, like just into a lot of things right now. So it's like, he's just fine. He's only 20, so
what's his name?
His name is Willie. Hudson. He's the third. He's the third. Yes, he don't have Facebook, so but but still,
you know what? That's cool, because James Payne ain't had no Facebook either.
I love James. I just talked to him. He's my neighbor.
Who ain't?
Well, I live in Ray Dunbar.
We gotta move.
I live in Ray Dunbar.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I mean, you know, he talked about his art gallery that he's opening, which is right down the street. So that's gonna be dope. So you got the food hall, then you got Bing, then you got James, you got it's about to be like Black Wall Street for real. Hey, like seriously, again.
A perfect segue to this picture here. Can you walk us through this picture here?
My son actually took that picture.
Okay.
I took my son to see Kendrick Lamar. We did a meet and greet in New York for his birthday. And I had been seeing this company, Colossal Media, and they was doing like these really dope billboards, like, and I was like, I want to go and see some of their stuff. So when I'm in New York, that's like my second home. I love New York. I love New York, and now that they like cutting off the vaccination stuff, I'm like, I'm going back home.
Yep.
I'm going back home.
I want to see New York like this. I want to see it where it was wide open.
I went last year once, and that was right before the weekend before the week end that they had cut it off, or started it rather. And it was like, I couldn't go to any of the museums. I couldn't go to the spa I normally go to. Right. I couldn't even eat inside of the restaurant of in the hotel I was at. I was like, I can stay here, but I can't eat in your restaurant. Make that make sense to me, because it don't.
I'm gonna come cough on all y'all.
That part. With my mask on. Right. But no, so that my son took that picture, and like for me, I always repost that, because my kitchen staff, they call me boss lady. Like, they've been calling me that since I opened. And so it's just like this little thing, like this, like, I don't know what to call you. And I'm like, just call me Miss Jazz, because I was younger than a lot of them, you know, like, and so it's like, just call me Miss Jazz. And they like, no, I'm gonna call you boss lady. And so it stuck. Like Bax calls me that to this day. Shout out to Bax.
Shout out to Bax. Big Bax.
And like, that's what they call me. Like, I'm not a boss, bitch. I'm a boss.
There we go.
Bitch. Like, I mean, like, make it make sense. Like, I'm this era right now and I'm gonna touch on this and I'm gonna hurt somebody's feelings, but this era now with all these women like bossing up, I love it.
Yes.
I love seeing women do their thing. But the sad part of it, you got these women like, I don't need a man. Yes, you do. You need a man.
Say it again.
You need a man. Like, in a sense of, that's why God created us. Yin and yang, masculine, feminine.
Right.
You need a man.
It's balance.
It's a balance. Absolutely. Like, that's one thing I love about my son. My son is he is one of the first younger kids from his generation that I know that my son like works on his masculine feminine side. Like he balances it and he makes sure that it's balanced. Like I don't know kids like his best friend, he is like that too. They all went to cyber. So artsy kids, I feel like their brain works a little bit differently. Yeah. But these women out here that's like, oh, go get your bag and shit on these niggas and this, that. Mm-hmm. Nah, go get you a bag and go get you a man that respects you with the bag. Right. Now, on the other part, on the flip side, these boss ass bitch women wouldn't be acting like this had these men been out here saying money over bitches. Now these women is saying money over niggas. Yeah. So it's like, this is what y'all taught us to be. So it's like, it's one of them things where we got to get back to family and what it really means to be a family. And to have a family, it's not a boss ass woman with a $1 million in her check, in her account, with no man. It's just not. Like, and you can fight me. Like, you can fight me. You can fight me on that. You be the first
one to get a Legend of Hill podcast credit card. You can just swipe whatever
I can just swipe. That's it.
You in your bag. I ain't gonna.
I mean, I don't agree with that because like I know where I came from, you know, and I seen my aunts and I even seen my mom struggle at times, you know, when it wasn't a man in the household. So I know what that looks like. Mm-hmm. You know, you need, and that was one thing when I had my kids. Like even when I told my kids' dad like I was pregnant, I was like, look, I had an abortion before. I'm not having another one. Either you gonna have this kid with me or you're not. And that was the conversation, like up front. I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
And at this point, I was about to graduate high school. I'm like, I'm just gonna have to make it work. Mm-hmm. And he was like, okay. So we was like, all right. And then it worked. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's like one of them things like that irritates me that this culture, how it is now, is these women like, oh, I don't need no man. And all. Like, don't say that. If you doing it, do it because you want a big bag for you.
Yeah.
What type of man was your husband?
Oh, God.
Can we build on it for a minute?
That's a great question.
He was like, if you looked at him, you would think he was mean. Cause he was a big guy. Yeah. He's a big guy. And he's a Taurus, so he has this certain personality where he demanded respect.
What's his birthday?
4/24.
4/24.
April 24th.
Okay. April. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he was a teddy bear. Like he would give you the shirt off his back. He would give you his last. Like I mean, he's a very respectful person. Like in these, like when I meet people, like for instance, I was at the gas station the other day and I give away, like if I have food left over, I may have like some plates and stuff like on Sundays for the most part, like some leftover mac or whatever. And we go to BP on Salem and Grand because it's always homeless people there. Yeah. And so like, and it's funny how the black people sometimes don't want to take food from you, but then the white people be so grateful and stuff. And I'm like, man, look how fucked up our mentality is. Yeah. So this guy, we was trying to give some food to this homeless woman, and this man was going in the store. He was like, you better take some food, you better take that food, that's Delish food. He's like, R.I.P. my nigga Big Will, that's my, and I'm just like, this was like 2 weeks ago. Now mind you, this month is the 6-year anniversary of him passing, so I'm emotional, and I'm just like, God, I'm like, this is why I do this. Like, this is the best day. I don't care how much money I made today. Like, I have food left over and I could feed somebody. That makes me feel good. That was worth it. But like to hear somebody right now to put that, and he like no, he in the store, like he in the store still talking, and I'm just like trying not to cry, like oh God. But I felt it, like, and I felt his energy, like I could feel it, and I'm like, he was a good man. Like, what people don't understand is I gave my husband mouth to mouth when he died. Like, my kids were right there at his feet. Like, my husband died on Easter Sunday, and him and I had a conversation like a couple weeks before, like, why is Easter so early? Easter don't come in March, it comes in April.
Yeah.
But I learned recently too that Easter and the Passover actually has more to do with the stars.
Right.
And that's something that and somebody told me, I can tell you every day that Easter is going to be on correlating with these stars. I was like, wow. So long story short, he just, you know, he was an amazing man. Like, he gave so much to everybody. And honestly, I feel like that was what killed him. Because
yes, was it? How'd he pass?
He had a heart attack. But that day, on Easter Sunday, so he was getting off probation like 2 weeks prior. Like, he was on the phone. We were in the car. I'll never forget. His probation officer, you know, she was like, you know, you need to come finish up these community service hours. And I'm just like, well, what about if you feed some people? I know that'll knock some stuff off. And she was like, you know, like, yeah. She's like, what do you think about? I'm like, well, whatever you let me know. She was like, well, what about Easter Sunday? Like, we can feed the men. Like, you know, like, it's going to be like 200 people. Yeah. And I'm like, so he going to be off probation, free and clear, this, that. Like, I'm always finagling some stuff for him.
Working.
And so she was like, yeah. And, like, the day that he passed on Easter Sunday, it was the most beautifulest day, first and foremost. It was gorgeous that day. It was beautiful. But he fed all these people even after we still fed these people. Like, the day that he died on Easter Sunday. So, like, for me, like, he was like a martyr. Like,
so wait a minute. After he fed everybody,
he passed that morning. But my staff still made sure them people ate.
Right.
Because they calling me like, well, what do you want me to do? I said, feed the damn people. Like, this is what y'all already there. So, do what you got to do. And I went to work that same night. I went to work. I didn't know what else to do. Like, I was like, shit, if I died, I still want him to go. We had Icewear Vezo that night.
Right.
And that night, the police came in there with guns drawn. The next morning, it was an article. They fucked up some shit talking about, husband or owner of Delish dies, and then they want to talk about a shooting, so it made it seem like my husband was like, that was like the worst thing, where I like cut some folks out. Like, nah, y'all need to, you better fix this shit. You better fix this shit. Yeah, because this ain't it. Damn. This ain't it. That ain't even my parking lot. Y'all said somebody shooting in Delish parking lot. I don't own a parking lot, because if I owned a parking lot, I wouldn't own this damn restaurant.
Right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Because the money from that parking lot, hand over fist.
Hello? So that was like, I think, like, the hardest thing I dealt with. I think I dealt with everything
the best you could.
The best that I could.
So we had on what's her name? Tanise. Tanise would get wasted. And she
I know her.
About when her soulmate at that point in time died. And she said the same thing. Like, she didn't know what to do either. She went to work.
I went to work. Because
that is,
you got to think about this. If I'm at home, I'm thinking about him because it's our house. If I go to work, I'm still going to think about him because I'm expecting him to walk through the door every day.
Yeah.
But I knew I had 2 kids. At that time, I think we had like 12 properties. So I had to be a mom. I had to be a landlord. I had to be a restaurant owner. And then I still had to try to figure out me. Like, what does this mean for you?
Right.
But, like, this is where this came from. My husband always was like, hustle, provide, repeat. That's what I do. Like, so, and he taught me that. Like, I had a man tell me one time, like, you were trained well. And at first I said, huh?
Yeah, that kind of.
I was like, but he's foreign, so he didn't have the right words to articulate what he was saying. Yeah,
they have little gaps in the terminology there.
I got it. Once I, took, I said, you absolutely right. I was. I was. Like, I met him when I was 17 years old, and we've been together ever since. We done been through our ups and downs, but the only time he ever not lived in my house was the time that he went to jail. Yeah. Other than that, like, I don't care if he was.
Y'all had a real relationship. That's how all relationships are.
Yeah.
So since do he come visit you in dreams or
It's crazy
any
because
special type?
I haven't been dreaming a lot lately, and I was telling my son about it because my son dreams very vivid, and he writes his dreams down. And he's like, "Mom, write your dream down
Save
if you
'em.
can." Yeah.
Save 'em.
So the other day, I had a really strange dream. My mom was in it. She had on all white. I felt like I heard his voice in it, but then London was in my dream. Taisha, London and Wooly, they have the same birthday.
Yeah.
So it was just like a bunch of stuff, like, and it was just really strange. But like, I could feel him, like I can feel when he's around me.
Yeah.
And then like in my apartment, because my apartment building is like really old, it's like 100 some years old or whatever. My floor creaks, and like I live alone, like, and I can hear like my floor creaking. I done had somebody over there before, and they're like, "You got a ghost in your house." And I'm like, why you say that? They're like, "You don't know you got a ghost," and I'm like, yeah. I do. Yeah. I mean, you know, and then like even my daughter, this was last night because she worked on a truck yesterday, and she's like, "I had a dream about my dad." This was last week. She had this dream, and she said in the dream she was pregnant. She ended up having a boy. She was like, "My dad was in the dream." She's like, "My grandparents was there." She's like, "They were laying down." She's like, "But I don't remember if they were alive or not." So I was like, it's this around this time is just like your senses are very heightened, you know, and you just pay attention to things more. Like I was driving down the street today, and like one of the biggest things is when I moved out the house, because I gave my kids the house, and I moved out during COVID in 2020, and I missed being over there because we had all of these cardinals that lived behind us. So when I moved over there, I was like, we don't have no cardinals over here. We got some birds. You know, and I'm grateful because they chirp right there. They actually made a nest in my window, my bedroom window, so I hear them every morning. But I'm driving down the street and I'm talking to my girlfriend about something. I'm like, yeah, I've been making my invoices with numbers that I wanted to read. So one invoice, I made 1111, the other one was 2222, and then I made somebody's quote come out to 1777, and they had to pay half. It was 888, like, and so I was telling her about all these numbers and stuff, because my best friend, she called me like an urban hippie. She was like, whatever you doing, whoever you praying to, she was like, you do what you do, because everybody around me is like super highly blessed,
right?
And a lot of times my friends and people, they be like, Jasmine, like, I got this from you, or this happened me being around you, and it's like I just do whatever I do. Like, I don't know. It was full moon last night. Today is another full moon, and tomorrow the full moon's been full for 3 days, and it's normally not like that. So like, I put out moon water. Like, I do different things. I take a spiritual bath. Like, I have certain things that I do, you know, and it's not like. It's just whatever I feel,
right?
You know.
I mean, it's a form of self-care as well.
Absolutely. And so, like
riding whatever damn dirt bike that is down the
it's self-care. Like, he felt like he wants to ride his
checkpoint
bike
tonight, dirt bike.
Listen,
you're going down tonight, dirt bike, dirt bag on the dirt bike. You messing up my podcast.
No, that's just
you hear Jazz in here talking shit.
Just home, you know.
He probably watching the podcast,
right? Like, I'm about to pull up on him. No, you probably seen that food truck out there. Like, I wonder if she cooking. Yeah. Look,
So,
let me.
Go ahead.
Do you know Kenyatta Williams?
Oh my God.
Well, my sister is
KK.
my brother Tay passed away, and that's his wife. And right after he passed, birds came right to her house and built a nest right on her windowsill.
That's where the story was.
And she's,
but yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
When we went to visit him on his birthday, I have a picture. So he died in March. His birthday's April. So we go visit. It's still fresh. My kids are there. These doves come down and start walking around his grave. Like, and I'm just sitting there, I'm like on a video, I'm crying, because I'm like, really? I'm like, so you just gonna come and show out? That's how you feel?
Yeah.
That's how you feel? I'm like, y'all tourists is always showing out. Y'all extravagant. And it was just like, it just let me know that everything was okay, and I knew he was always gonna be there with me. And
That is the most
it's comforting.
beautiful thing, man.
It's
Can
very
you
like
believe that?
it's very comforting. Like I watched it, like it walked around his grave, and I'm just sitting here like,
did. Right.
Smith has this thing where he says, "Well, addition by subtraction," and that is something that we've said it on the podcast probably a bunch of times, but he said it to me when I needed it once, and it made so much more sense because certain things start to happen. Like, it is crazy, man. Everything happens for a reason. You saying that, me saying that leads to me saying today, I manifested that I wanted to interview Bean Davis. Bean Davis called me today. You know what I mean? And I know this ain't nothing but my grandma out there pulling like boss moves.
hello.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What would compel him to like call back this little peasy head dude, Peanut from Westwood?
Because you're not a little peasy head
I
dude
know,
from
I
like
know.
first and foremost, you
I
know.
know.
Yeah.
But that's
But
really
I get
essentially
it.
what it means is, like Smith says, I don't keep quoting Smith, goddamn, but like Smith says, like that, like life is just this next plane that we're currently in. We were in a different state before we got there. The next plane, our people go there to set us up for the next frontier of our life. I fully believe that.
Yeah. Your ancestors.
Yeah. And like, man, like, I think when you was talking about how your son talks about, you know, just the circle of life and the cycle of life. I mean, man, we all come on these soul contracts to be with one another once we get to Earth, and these different experiences, and then we'll take turns in the roles that we play in each other's lives, right? And so, you know, when people say, you know, like, I didn't ask to be here, but you did, though. You don't remember. You go through the valley of forgetfulness where your memory is wiped clean and you don't understand what you asked for. But all of these soul contracts, man, you know, for us to come down and play the father role or play the mother role or play the husband role. We all agreed to do these things. And the time that it takes for us to get back to our soulmate, we'll be right back with them. And so that's why, like when you a hustler, hustle, provide, repeat, you do a lot, you go through a lot, and death isn't as bad. Like, it's you running this marathon, and now you get an opportunity to hold on for a second, man. Let me stop this shit.
I made a post like maybe 2 or 3 days after he passed, and I was like, I just want to let y'all know, I said, God makes no mistakes.
Right.
I said, and I want to let you all know that my kids and myself, we're okay. Because we were there when he took his last breath. Like, I could feel when he took his last breath. I felt it.
Yeah.
But my kids are right here. So I'm not going to stop and say,
yeah, he's done. He's gone. Yeah.
I'm going to keep fucking breathing.
Yeah.
Until they get here.
Yeah.
Because maybe God is like,
He testing your faith at that moment.
right. And I'm like, I'm not giving up in front of my kids.
Right.
Like, but I felt it. I knew it. I knew.
Yeah.
I knew. And I was just like, this man fed these people on Easter Sunday. It's beautiful. His kids, his wife is here. The people who know him the most and love him the most. How the fuck can I be mad or selfish about that?
Right.
I lived a full life with this man. A full life. Most relationships don't even last past 5 years.
Say that 5 minutes nowadays.
Right.
I don't care what ups and downs we had. That's life.
Yeah.
That's life. And that's what I tell people. Like, one of my favorite quotes is, happiness is a journey, not a destination.
Right.
You don't get to a place where you're happy all of the time.
It's wrong.
That's not life. That's not realistic.
That's like the movies we were talking about, like when you hold your wife or your husband at night in the bed. Man,
Make that make
well,
sense.
all I'm saying is, think my point is this: the things that they present to you as successful never really exist, man. This happily ever after, any real relationship that you're in with somebody, you are going to have to battle some, because you're in a relationship with somebody who has a mind too.
Yes.
And you can't be lockstep every step of the way.
Who wants to?
Not
It's
me
terrible.
at all. I can't stand
It's
it.
terrible.
to?
Somebody that just, you know, that
Give me my-
like you want somebody to give you a little bit of a challenge. Man.
Yes.
You know, and so relationships should have these challenges, but the real strong ones overcome. You know, and that's, I mean, you guys actually did what a marriage is supposed to be in the vows till death does us part. You know, for now, but there's not even necessarily a parting.
No,
It's
not.
only a physical,
It's
like
a
a physical
It's-
parting.
It's physical because, like, you know, spiritually that they're there.
Uh,
Like my kid's address came out on Tuesday,
Mm-hmm.
and I play the numbers when I have I feel like it.
Yeah.
Like I hit my son's birthday. I cashed out him $50 because son, I won on your birthday. I hit your
Yeah.
birthday. But I had been thinking about her address, and I had a meeting at the food hall on Tuesday. I walked down to Tasty Bird to go play my numbers. So, and I'm thinking about this, and I'm in the meeting like I need to go play my numbers. I need to go. So I didn't go, of course. Got late going through this meeting. That's a whole nother thing dealing
Yeah.
with corporate white America
Yeah.
and being a black woman. That's a whole nother situation.
Yeah.
And so like I checked the numbers like yesterday, and I'm like,
It came out.
Pulled up.
oh no, it came out twice.
Oh,
It came out twice. So the midday, it came out scrambled. At night, it came out straight $13.29. That was $5,000. So I'm sitting up here like these white people made me miss $5,000. Like I'm sitting up here, but at my meeting was a beautiful meeting. I got the things that I wanted.
it leads to that 5,000 later.
Oh yeah, that food hall gonna lead to 5,000
Big
the
man,
day that I open.
Man,
How about
every
that?
day. Every day.
Listen,
that.
yes,
Every
I'm praying for that. Like I'm manifesting that, but it's like one of them things, you know, where you just like right now, like I said, March is always it's a weird month because, for instance, like this, the year that he passed, I had got top 25 women to watch.
Yes.
I had got something else, Dayton, that happened like all in the first like 3 months of the year. So my girlfriend, Sierra Leone, she like, we need to do something for our husbands because we wouldn't be in the position we are right now. And I had just did this like talk show.
That's a good sus right there.
And she was like, we're just gonna invite our immediate family, like right there, and we just gonna have a dinner for them. They ain't even gonna know what's going on, but we gonna tell the kids and we gonna whatever. So a week before, I'm like, he done pissed me off. I was like, I don't have no damn dinner for him. He done made me mad. She's like, but I'm playing. But she's like, we still gonna have this dinner, blah blah blah. So the Thursday before he passed, we have this appreciation dinner for him. And my son writes him this letter and says, you are my superhero. This is on Thursday and he dies on Sunday.
Wow.
So when I say I can't be mad, like he
He
knew
knew how much he was
knew
loved.
how much he was loved. He knew how much people cared about him, and especially the people who cared about him the most. So I could never be like, curse God, I can be angry some days when I'm at home and I'm laying in the bed and I'm like, I just want somebody to cuddle with right now. But everything that I learned from him, everything that he gave me from taking care of our household, even after he passed, taking care of me even now to this day,
Yeah.
I cannot be angry about that. So it's like sometimes you have to take away to add on.
Yeah.
You do. Like, and that's life. And I learned that, like, at a young age. You know, and I knew, like, God, my life is the way it is for a reason. And that's why I try to give back, be happy, be a good person, because when I pass and when I come back, I don't want to be a fly or something like a snail, or I want to be a butterfly or something beautiful, or a cardinal, or I want to be something beautiful. So that's why I am the way that I am, like, because I know that after this is something else.
Keela just now checked in on the Godcast. Keela, we just seen your picture in one of these club photos.
Yeah.
I'm
like,
gonna put it up again.
I was about to say,
so-
I was about to say Marables. I'm like, we wasn't at Marables.
Majestics, at Majestics.
Yes.
That floor used to sweat so nasty.
What?
No matter
Oh
what shoes you had. Whatever shoes you had on, it was dirty that night. It don't matter. You could have came to the shoe straight out of the box. It was dirty. That floor was sweat.
Oh my God.
And look, Now, I'm doing the percolator inside the marble.
Oh no, it's not happening. It's not happening. It's definitely not happening.
Brave Nate would have got in there and won that thing.
That nasty water.
And he just, I'd be
He
like,
would split around like genuine in that water.
Percolator. Was damn, I never mind.
What you about to say?
I had a thought, but it's kind of like
He ain't making a point.
oh
taking
yeah,
this lady again.
I'm not saying it.
It's
It's
okay.
about the percolator.
So let's talk about the Delish on Wheels, the inception of that. What made
Yes.
you go to the Delish on Wheels? While he's getting up.
Okay, so pandemic comes. Tay opens up. Tay Winston opens
Shout
up.
out to Tay
Shout out
Winston,
to
the
Tay.
legendary Tay Winston.
Yes,
She should run for office for something.
Listen,
She
she
can
got a lot of
definitely do it.
people behind her. A huge following.
Yeah.
She was interviewing me for Dayton Weekly, and I have a building that I own on 3rd Street, and so she was interviewing me about my building, and I initially was going to do something with it, but then I realized like, no, I don't want this. I don't want a full service restaurant. Why was I thinking about this? So when I come to do the interview, I'm at the marketplace. This is right before she opens. This is in December, and she's like, yeah, this is my space, and so she's telling me what she's doing, and I was like, this is dope. Like, she's like, oh, well, you should come and sell some egg rolls. I was like, well, I'm gonna donate some stuff for your grand opening. She's like, no, you come and sell them. I said, no, I'm gonna donate them.
Right.
And so I go and donate them, and I see how the space is for her grand opening. So I'm like, wow, this is really dope. I'm posting about it, and I'm like, I know people are gonna ask me for information. So I'm like, Tay, how much is it? She's like, oh, it's $300 a month. And I'm like, oh, that's good. And so I'm, taking this information in. And so she's like, you should come down here and sell egg rolls. Mind you, it's January, about to be January. Well, it's January now, and it's COVID. It's coming, and I'm like, I don't know. But this is the funniest thing. I had started applying for jobs like in December, and I was like, God, I don't want to work for nobody. But I hadn't been working for 2 years. I was very fortunate. I didn't have to work for 2 years.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
To everybody up there.
Right.
And so I was like, Dang, I need to get a job because my son was off at school. He was in Chicago at Columbia for film school. And I'm like, I made it. I got my kid to school. I'm cool. My daughter wanted to stay at home. That's fine. Now, sis, you got to go to work because you taking from, you just going like this. So I started applying for jobs. I remember Synchrony called me back because I'm like, where am I going to work at? Synchrony was calling me back to come in for some interview, and I was like, God, I really don't want to work for nobody. I can't even tell you when the last time I worked for somebody. So I prayed about it, and then Tay was like, you should sell them some egg rolls, and I was like, and I thought about it, and I was like, I could bet $300 on myself. That ain't nothing. I spent $300 in a couple days going out to eat. Like, why not bet on myself? So when I got there, it was like, I started selling egg rolls, and I sold out every day. And I made a lot of money. Like, a lot of money.
Yeah.
And you ain't moving around for that money. You like right here.
And I'm right here. And then March came, and then we got shut down, but then we realized that we could stay open. And she was like, y'all want to stay open? I'm like, well, yeah, like, because I'm making money. I don't want to work for nobody. I don't want to do no employment. I don't want to do this. And I'm literally like, when I say making a lot of money, I'm making a lot of money.
The pandemic turned to a
It did. And I was just like, wow, this is really amazing. I'm talking about, we had like guys would be pulling up like, y'all running a trap house. No, for real, because you pull up and the whole street down Williams is cars because they couldn't come in. We got masks and gloves on, running them out, juices, treat desserts from Tracy Sweetums, Soul Rose, and body care products from LA Remedies. Like, this is what they come to, the essentials. You need bath, body care, food, and they were literally lining up, and I'm looking like this, like, God, is this real? But at the same time, we like, what's going on? So March or the end of the year, like, well, summer comes, and I'm like, I want a food truck. I want to, be able to be mobile, because I don't know how this is gonna flow. Like, we still don't know about this whole pandemic or whatever. And then Tay was about to have a food truck rally, and I kind of like I guess manifested, like, because I said this is what I want. Somebody called me. Jesse Patterson actually called me. He was like, hey, you want to rent my truck? I got a truck that I'm renting from somebody. He connected me with the guy I got my truck from. I ended up calling him. He told me to come down, look at some stuff. He sent me some pictures, and I did a favor for somebody, and they was like, I'm gonna help you out. And I'm like, okay. So they gave me the down payment for my truck.
That's hard.
I went to pick up my truck in August, right before her food truck rally at
Salem Mall?
the first one at UD.
Okay,
the one that
UD.
they shut us down because
Yeah.
it was the pandemic, basically.
Yeah.
And I had a truck. And so now it's like I got Delish on wheels, sort of, kind
Scano
of.
said, will Delish be at the Black Expo in Columbus?
Ooh, when is that? Send me the information. It depends, only because, like, since I'm opening up in a food hall now, I will only do like businesses and events like that on the truck. I won't be out like how I am right now because I want y'all to come, of course, to the food hall.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make sense for me to be over here and
Shut
you know,
yourself
in. Yeah.
right? Like I want y'all to come and sit. And then y'all not on the truck, like. I only sell certain things anyway, which, I mean, I appreciate the love they give.
Right.
Like, Sundays are amazing. Like, Sunday is Sunday dinner. I cook Sunday dinner. Like, I have people coming up. Last week, I had a group of girls that drove all the way down from Cincinnati, and they was like, we've been trying to catch your truck for the last, like, 2-3 weeks. And I'm like, for real? But I know how that felt when I had a man come to the bar, and my bartender, Ed, was like, yeah, Jazz, that's the guy I was telling you that drive from Cincinnati to come get the food. And I said, so, excuse me, I'm like, you drive from Cincinnati to come and get a carry out? He was like, yes. And he was like, well, why wouldn't I? I said, oh, no, I just,
May 27th through 29th.
May 27th. I may be able to, but I'm pretty sure that will be open around that time, so I don't know.
Well, I understand that because I drive to Westchester for Tarangas.
Okay, so I drive to Benihana's, to get a takeout. Like, I've sat at the bar, ordered my food. Like, I've driven to Papado's. Like, and I'm sitting up here like, well, why not? Like, I drive to eat food. But it was such a good feeling. Like, it made me think of Delish that day when that man was like, he's like, and I eat the food before I'm even all the way home.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Hey, boy.
That's great.
I was like, oh my gosh, that's
He in the car
amazing.
like,
Right, hot. Right.
blowing his food while it's in his mouth. Shout out to
I
him,
believe it. Yes. So it's like, the food truck is a beautiful thing. It was a blessing. Like a blessing. That's all I can
Man,
say.
all day.
So what is next for the great Jasmine Brown?
This food hall is right now. That is like the biggest thing on my plate right now. Is 5 local vendors in there, 5 restaurants. You have Illy's Pizza, Black owned. I've been knowing them. Like I said, I've been knowing Robert since 1st grade.
Yeah.
And him and his wife, they're high school sweethearts.
Man,
married.
I want some of that. They got that turkey.
I
Don't they got
love
the
it.
turkey pepperoni?
Turkey only. And then
my
they do a
God.
vegan pizza and a seafood pizza.
Yeah, come on with it,
Best
man.
pizza ever.
Yeah.
You got Chan, which is Anthony. He does Taco Street. He has a location.
Yeah, that's my bro. Yeah,
So he have a
yeah.
food truck. He have a location at Beaver Creek. And you have Soca, which is Caribbean food. Then you have Kat and her husband. She's the lumpia queen. So she's Filipino. She's married to a black man. So it's like
Right.
it's all black and brown people in there.
Yeah,
Like the
that
only
is
thing
so
that's
cool,
not
man.
black and brown is the bar. But come and drink anyway. So there's a
Yeah.
bar. We have a full bar on the west side of Dayton with food. Like
That's
we
it,
have
man.
outdoor seating. Like they just poured the concrete yesterday for the post for the patio. Right. So it's like they asked me to be a part of this in February of 2020 when I was at the marketplace. Right. And it was like they said if I was gonna do this, they said that we need to have you, and I was just like, me? I'm still always like me, like hold on, wait a second. I was like, okay, and I knew I didn't have to have servers and I didn't have to deal with the bar, so I was like, I can do that. They cook food. My staff cooks food, so that's what they do. So it was like a no-brainer for me. So now it's just like waiting on things to, like, the floor got laid this week and the paint is up, and now we're waiting on this $40,000 transformer for the outside so the city can power us up, because we running off a generator and the power next door, and it's been back ordered for like 6 months. And they were saying maybe April 29th we might have it. Then initially it was like maybe in a couple weeks. So like that's why we don't have a date per se, because we still have to get acclimated in our space once, because it still takes, I think they said, at least a week for this generator to be powered up to give us power.
Right.
And so after that, then we have to have the health department come in and do all of that.
Yeah.
Then we can start bringing in food and start cooking. But then still we have to get acclimated to our space, because I can't just be like, oh, we open it in 2 days because we got the pass. Like, it don't work like that. You know, you have to build up, you know. So
it's going to open right on time.
And that's what I always say. Mm-hmm. Even when I'm late somewhere, I'm like, I'm not late, I'm right on time. You are. Because I could have been in an accident, I could have done it, something could have happened. I'm like, I'm supposed to be where I'm supposed to be at that time.
Yeah.
So that's the next biggest thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So here on the Legendary People podcast, we had a thing called the Butterfly Effect. Either something you said during the course of the interview or something I found in the course of my research that I found was truly profound and amazing. This is the second time I got a chance to meet you. And the first time I met you, you know what I'm saying? Like, you came off with this same type of energy where, like, you have this feeling like, I'm just happy to be here. You know what I mean? Like, we've had people come here as legends that sit there and, you know, pompous and arrogant. Like, they never want to sit behind the damn backdrops when I talk to them. And you have this feel to you where you are so easygoing, and, like, the way that you go about things, it really powers your movement more than what you can see. Because a lot of times, our superpowers is something that we actually see. You know what I mean? Something like, we can say, oh, I'm so good at this, not knowing that while you're doing that, you're doing something else that generates so much energy around you. I mean, for what you're doing, so like I said before, with you having that experience at Michael's and stuff like that, to see the value in that, to want to give back that feeling that you have is like literally like revitalization of Dayton. You know what I mean? To say, I mean, most people say, you know, I want a Hollywood star. You said no. I want my star to be in Dunbar. You feel me? Right, Dunbar. You know what I mean? To me, like, that just speaks to, like, your character. Me and Smith say a lot of times, like, we have people come there and say, you know, every legend we come here, they say, it came easy to me. It just be like literally glove in hand fit, and you fit the same criteria as that. You fit the same mold of every legend that we've had through here. I mean, with everything that you're going through, with having to switch locations and COVID offsetting what your dream deferred was, for you to have this and carry this to keep moving forward shows who you truly are as a businesswoman, and you're unequivocally a legend, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for having me.
Yep. And my observation is just like straight amazing. Like, you say so much of the same stuff that I say. It's crazy. You know? It really like, is. For real, just as far as philosophy. Mm-hmm. You know, the things that you've been saying, I'm like, dang, you know, that's some of the same type of stuff that I say. And then just the beauty of, you know, you working with your husband for so long, and the dove walking around his grave, and like all of those things are so beautiful to me, you know, and it goes hand in hand with you, you know.
Thank you.
True beauty comes from the inside, though, Jazz, you know, and for you to be beautiful inside and out,
double duty.
That's what makes a dime.
Mm-hmm.
A dime.
Hey, there come no dime on the show,
bro. Like you real though.
Yeah, for sure.
You real, man. You know, and in every way, I'm just thankful that you came on to tell us your story.
I'm glad I ran into you. That was so crazy. I was like, he's like, no, come on, we gonna make this right now. And I was like, okay, cool, come on, let me know. Look.
Yeah, you know, it gets greater later. Like, you know, like your future is bright, and I'm ready to come through, you know, and just shop with you.
I appreciate that.
And just mention all of the wonderful things that you're doing on the podcast every chance that we get.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So greatness like you that comes through, it validates our platform. It makes us
thank you for having this platform for me to be able to share. Because I told somebody, like, I know why I'm here. Like, and they was like, why are you here? Like, I got in an accident, my husband and I did, and I was like, I know why we got in an accident. And he was like, yeah, because we hit the curb. And I said, no, God is telling us to slow down. Like, and I knew that like 2 days after this accident. But like, I found out recently, like, I know I'm here to help people in whatever capacity that is. And Ryan teaches me that all the time. Like, you're a server, you know, it's of service. This is what you do. And she's like, this is why I do things with you, you know, and I get it now why God has surrounded me by people like her. You know, it's like, it's just, it didn't happen just because, like, no, this was curated. And I get it. Like, I appreciate that, you know. So it's like, just like me us running into each other. We were supposed to do that at the right time. So it's like, I'm a firm believer. I know I'm supposed to be, whatever I said today, I know it's going to help at least one person. And that's all that matters.
Yeah, because Miss Marshall, there's no I in team, but there is an I in Delish.
No, Miss Marshall, she taught me that was a valuable lesson. You know, like, you can't just do things the way you want to sometimes. Like, there's a protocol. Like, you want to be on a team, you have to try out. You miss tryouts, ma'am.
That's a bar now, because now you're the pro to call.
Oh, very good, Peanut. All right, so we got DJ Skano checking in. He said, great interview.
Thank
Nikki
you.
Johnson, Jazz is awesome, so easy to love.
Oh, thank you, Nikki.
Somebody said
amazing.
you were blushing when I called you a dime.
I'm single, just so y'all know. Don't let the rings fool you.
And Jasmine Brown, salute, man. A bunch of hearts. Keela said, is it going to be like a food court or where all the businesses have their own suite?
Yeah, so, well, that's essentially the same as a food court. So so we do have our own suites. I call it like a upscale food court. Because we are all gourmet food. And then we have a bar. Like, so you don't got
that's hard then.
Like, so it's like, when they was like, are y'all gonna do Wine Down Wednesday? We do have a Touch Tunes jukebox, so, and the music will not be, you know, cut out. Just so y'all know, like, we gonna listen to what y'all want to listen to. So if you want to act like it's Wine Down Wednesday, then it's gonna be Wine Down Wednesday.
Right.
So yeah, we want something for families and for people to come and eat.
Cash Money taking off for the 99 and 2000.
Okay, because that picture was
Keela actually joined the comment section, and she seen the picture and she said, "Oh, that's throwback." Hold on, let me read Keela's comment real quick.
That probably was 99 2000.
Well, shout out to all you lady bosses. Dang, where did Keela say? Oh, she said, "Oh, yes, that's throwback."
Yes, right. It is.
Just know Jazz is still hustling. I saw her the other day on Salem on that truck getting it together. So yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
That's all I know.
So, man, let's pay some bills, man.
All right, y'all. Go to Sheik's for breakfast. Agnes All Natural Grill for lunch. Go to the food hall.
West Social.
Okay, what's it called?
It's called West Social Tap and Table, and we are at
West
1100 West 3rd Street.
West.
Okay, so this is for all the people who's like, when we opened up downtown, why you open up downtown? Why you didn't open up in Dayton? I said, we are in Dayton. It's the same zip code. It's right across the bridge.
Right.
But now we on the west side. So what y'all gonna say now?
Right.
And for all the people who never made it there in 8 years, I don't understand why y'all ain't supported black business in 8 years, but I hope to see y'all there.
What's the address one more time for the people in the back?
1100 West 3rd. Say West 3rd.
West 3rd.
West 3rd. Right,
West
Dunbar.
3rd, baby.
and we're going to speak it to existence. You will get your name in lights down there. I'm saying
Let me tell you what's so crazy. So I'm at Coco's, and there's this guy there that I see, because that's one of my go-to spots. So is this guy that's sitting there, and we're having a conversation. I've been knowing him for years, older white guy, and we're talking about I forget what. Oh no, about the food hall. And I was like, yeah. I always tell people my name's gonna be down there on one of them bricks. And he's like, I sit on the board. And I was like, huh? I was like, Wayne, I never knew that. And he's like, yeah, I sit on the board. He's like, yeah, we're gonna find out the verbiage and and all this and.
So it's already on the way.
I said, are you serious? And he was like, he looked at me and I was like, say no more. Like,
Man.
It's like, God. I said,
Look.
but I look out my window. I live right there. Literally, I live across the street. So I walk down my steps and I walk to work. Like across the street. So I see this every day when I wake up. I've watched them do this building now for all this time, like build it. Like, and I'm over there almost every other day. Like they think that I own the place. I don't. For the record. So don't nobody try to rob me or nothing like that.
Because you know
Because this is Dayton.
Yeah.
I do not own West Social Tap and Table because people think I own it.
Right.
I do own a building on 3rd Street, but it's in the fire blocks.
Right.
It is not West Dayton.
Right.
So, but that's not my building, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm not that woman.
Right.
No, I'm not.
So that kind of coincides with what my grandmother said was if you got people that's in your circle that will not support you, you ain't gotta worry about that because God will put people in your way that's actually going to help.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, we want to
Rest
thank
her.
you
Look,
so.
want to pass?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
You're amazing. So thank you so much for coming on the Legendary People podcast. Please give out your social media so people can find you and contact you and the creepy people can send you DMs.
Oh gosh.
You said you sing on this podcast.
I know, right?
Weird ones.
I get weird stuff already. Jasmine Brown on Facebook, on Instagram. I am Jewel Forever with the number 4.
Okay.
JEWEL Forever.
For sure.
Yes.
What's good, B-Nut? Okay. So, legendary people, legendary people, legendary people, legendary people, legendary stories, legendary people, legendary stories. Be a Kappa is not a victim. Let's live for y'all, man. It's out of here, man. Man, B-Nut, man. What up? Waiting on that.
You know.